going to put I need to get sound stuff because I need to deaden this AC behind me. It's still.
Will you put that on the inside or the outside?
A little bit of both.
Both.
So a little bit in here to keep the reverberation off the walls. It's pretty good sound in here, but just to kind of help out a little bit more. And then I need to put some insulation in between this and the AC on the other side of the wall because it's just drywall and then open there on the other end.
And then your studs.
Yeah. So
Hey Jace, I started, but on the studio, it's still showing the black screen as live.
it has a.
How long's the delay?
I don't know.
Oh, there it goes. All right.
You've done this before.
Well, not very much live, Dick.
All right. Well, here we are, guys. We are in the studio, the new studio, same studio.
Looks great.
Different dress. I do feel like the table's a little far. It's a long way away. But I like everything. There's space.
Yeah.
It's somehow I keep finding a way to make more and more space in here, but I do. It is coming down to where I need to make a custom table now. I think like a little bit closer, but then a curved edge. That way, there's curve on this end.
For sure, because I will say one thing that I like about this compared to the previous setup was when you're sitting next to someone over here, you're like your head's wrenched one way the entire time.
Yeah, to listen to them.
So it kind of isn't a very comfortable thing sitting there with someone next to you that way. So
yeah,
I do kind of like having this. Maybe you have that problem sitting there, but I think
I'll be all right.
Right,
I'll be all right. I got a young neck.
Yeah.
I'll be all right for a good another 10 years.
Yeah. Filing for ARP here soon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I thought it'd be good to get you guys in. Unfortunately, we couldn't. Marcus is educating the youth.
Miss you, Marcus.
Couldn't come in. He's our whiskey boy brother. Whiskey
right.
brother. Whiskey brother. Yeah, I like that one. But yeah, so we miss you, Marcus. But he also was at Sturgis, so that would have been great to have him on. But if we keep pushing this off, it's like the feelings of Sturgis and the ideas of Sturgis are probably going to start to elude us. And
it would have been nice too to, and maybe on the next whiskey podcast that we do, but because last year was his first year, but it rained nonstop.
Yeah,
so this was kind of his first year really experiencing everything the way it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
So
that was good.
Yeah.
So where we kick it off, man? Like, I always see. I think I was on the road the entire time, but Trey, you guys had put together y'all tried to put together a group to leave Dallas.
Yeah.
And ride up there, and that was a shit show. Just I was on the outside. I was already there looking at it, going, "Oh shit!"
I think we had a good plan. I just think, obviously, we had one brother go down, got hit by a car, Vincent, and then I thought there was gonna be more people showing up, and then they just didn't.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people ended up coming, but nobody was showing up to the ride there. You know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah.
Because Robbie ended up coming a couple days later. Steve came out, or I think Steve got there earlier. So yeah, there was a lot of people.
Steve was there a couple days before us already.
And you were in Sturgis a couple days where that monsoon hailstorm happened.
Yeah, that was the day we got there. Yeah. So that was the Sunday. So the end of the homecoming rally was the Sunday that I got there. And I wasn't intending on being there that early, but it just worked out that way. And
I'm glad that was all that happened.
Yeah, that's the only rain that we really hit. I think it was kind of cloudy that day we all rode.
Yeah, we
but
had
no
rain overnight, like late night, but it was all pretty much clear every morning.
Would you take? I mean, obviously, I know the answer to this, but the heat was.
It was rough.
It was rough.
Yeah, when we left Dallas, I think we were okay. We're in the 80s, but when we hit Kansas, it was rough on me and Blaze. When we came up from Austin, stayed.
Well, maybe it's his fault because his name's Blaze.
Yeah, it is his fault. What a jerk. But we had a blast in Salina.
Dude, Salina's a good time, dude.
Yeah. Dude, the Blind Pig, that was a good bar.
Yeah,
that was a good little dive bar. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Dude, the first time we ever did Sturgis, we had a good time. We were actually in between Salina and Wichita, but all man, Kansas, all those places got good bars.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah,
I'll do that again.
But then you woke up late the next day.
We woke up 6. We still woke up at 6 a.m., but it just took us a little.
We were supposed to leave at 6 a.m.
Yeah, that's okay.
Although I will say Salina was a good meeting spot because the next day, like our original plan was to actually make it a 2.5 day, where we were going to stop in Salina, then go up to Alliance or Chadron, but we got to Alliance and Chadron, and we're like, shit, it's only 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
we only got.
great.
I mean, cool.
Yeah, we just showed.
Why not just keep going?
Yeah.
So, and we still got there plenty of daylight left and set up our tents and everything
everyone
like
could
that.
set up the tent. I mean, it was what is it, $20-$30 extra to stay an extra night?
Right.
Yeah, 'cause it wasn't
Anyways,
rally prices
so it
yet.
doesn't.
Mhm.
It really doesn't matter, man. And we got there before everyone showed up.
You know why we would do the alliance and stuff prior is because usually we would all leave, like kind of how you guys did, where you do like a 300 miles get out there, but then all of the people that were driving, like the old ladies, they would leave the next morning, early in the morning, and they would do a whole rip,
So
or
they didn't want to do
drive
the entire way.
Yeah, so they wouldn't go all the way to Sturgis, so we would meet them in alliance, and then we'd have, the ability to hang out with them and shit. So
But what I loved about that too was we left. Well, you guys left before us, but Matt and we left. I think at 4-ish, and then we got up to Salina. I don't know, 9:30-ish,
about 10. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
But that entire time, we had maybe 2 hours of pretty warm heat in that time frame. And then when we left at 6 a.m., going through Kansas, like the morning dew, sunrise, and like we really didn't. have another bout of heat again.
Yeah.
That entire route.
Yeah,
So.
the second day was perfect.
So we only had two days or 2 hours of pretty hot weather, and then the rest of it was like very enjoyable.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Me and boys got the fuck off and just kind of stop in Kansas and kind of go see other parts that I haven't seen.
that went to the center of was it the United States or
yeah, that was pretty sweet. We didn't realize we were going right by it, and then I was like, "Hey," I pointed at it, and he was like, "Let's stop." And we turned around, and went up there, and I was like, "Dude, this is pretty sick."
That's kind of the thing that I've really enjoyed about the parts of my trip is that even if I was laser focused on getting to the next place, I was still like, I want to go check out that road.
Yeah.
Or I want to go, I can loop back to this main road this way. So I got to do a lot of that off the main road kind of shit. So
it's kind of nice having no agenda.
Yeah.
Really no time. I know we're gonna get there in time to set up and everything like that, but not having to be pushed and like we gotta keep going.
Right.
We gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. And that's just.
I don't know, man. Like, I think we were talking about in the garage talk the other day about like the prettiest part of like my trip, and I was telling.
Yeah, you were
I've
talking
been trying
about being
to
stuck in Vaughn and like how you were like, man, this is actually, you'll take that over any of the like scenic, like iconic places because it's just getting lost somewhere.
Yeah, and you can kind of attest to this because it's what it's like in Sturgis. All the places you want to go to in Sturgis they're packed.
Yeah.
And so you're like, man, this is a really badass road. But can we make it to where trikes can only go down between 3 and 7 p.m. or something? Like, can we give them a window?
Can we have like young time, like the good guys, and then there's like elderly, adult only swim time,
Yeah.
Adult Swim.
Well, I want King Tony, if you listen, whoever makes T-shirts out there, there needs to be a Sturgis Trike Week shirt made for next year.
Fuck,
Yeah.
dude, there was a
Because-
shit ton this year.
There were a lot.
So that's one thing I would say that like being there the week early, I thought that I was going to be able to go enjoy these rides with nobody on it, and it was just full of trikes. It was on Tuesday. We went and rode
wild.
Needles and Iron Mountain and all that stuff, and it
And
was
they get
just
so pissed when you pass them.
yeah,
So pissed.
Yeah.
so mad. It's like, why are you mad, dude?
Yeah.
I'm out of your life.
Right.
It's like lane splitting people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
why are you even worried
I'm,
about
I'm
this?
never gonna see you ever again.
And it's
Who
like a
cares?
split second that you're past them, and then there's no impact to their ride at all.
Yeah.
Outside of us racing past real fast.
Yeah.
I could see myself fighting somebody over 60 for those type of reasons. Like, like them being mad at me because I passed them, and then I'm mad at them because they're mad at me, and then you're stopping and you're like,
Well-
I'll probably get my ass whooped by a 6-year-old man, but
Well, there's another point too that I thought numerous times in Sturgis this year is with a custom painted bike. I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna see this bike
gonna remember it?
on the down the strip of Sturgis or in Deadwood or something like that, and is he gonna obviously he's not gonna kick it over or anything like that, but still like is he gonna be pissed off still?
yeah.
There's that motherfucker right there.
Yeah. Kick over his bike. Kick over that fucking. Oops. I don't mean to cuss in this on YouTube Live.
You're not allowed to cuss, man.
Yeah, sorry.
You're not
My
old
bad.
enough yet.
Yeah.
Kick over that UNC bike, whatever.
But it was I thought that I was going to be able to enjoy a lot of that stuff more. I didn't really get to. I never did spearfish. I wanted to, but
You didn't?
no, because we were staying. I spent
Oh,
the
yeah.
majority of the time in Deadwood, obviously, and it was just I don't know. I just
Just 10 minutes from it from there.
Dude, I feel like I got a lot of riding in this year.
But do you feel like you either got to leave at like 6 in the morning to go get the rides, or
I think
I
we
was-
met up at 8.
I will say the day, I can't remember what day I rode Needles in Iron Mountain, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It was like,
Wasn't?
there was still people, but it wasn't terrible.
I went out with the Moonshine Harley guys and Chase Sprint from Nashville, Tennessee, and we had a ball. I mean, just 6 hours are just gone. At one point, I looked at how far we were away. I was like 3 hours away. It was a
Did you go do like the Badlands and stuff like that?
Yeah, and then that real south route where you kind of hit like Wyoming and all that down there.
Oh,
There was,
yeah, like
no
through
one
like
down
hot
there.
springs and all that
then
shit.
we hit this part where there was like 400 buffalo just on the road, just chilling.
Did you go take a picture with them?
No, I didn't want to get off.
Should go grab their nutsack.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Cut off a horn, take it back. Just kidding, that's messed
Go
up.
push
but-
one.
Hey, remember that cool thing you went and did and ate at Texas Roadhouse and watched a movie?
Dude, we sure did. That was awesome, man. Kind of get away for a second. It was nice.
Dude, I've done that before. You
It
know.
was nice, man. Hey, I got to see Deadpool. Don't yell at me. All right, Captain America. Fuck.
Yeah, you didn't
Just
go see,
because you're dead
you
doesn't
didn't,
mean
you didn't go see my movie, motherfucker.
It yeah, that was kind of I've always I've still never done Badlands.
Yeah.
I've never done Devil's Tower either.
It was nice because there was no one out there.
But I want to do like Badlands like right when the sun's setting or starting to like golden hour, be there in the right time and get some
for
cool
sure.
pictures. You know, I don't know. I would rather be there then instead of like in the middle of the hot day.
Yeah.
I didn't
Like
even
it's
go
always
in.
kinda
I just
hot.
pulled off to the side of the road nearby, took a couple pictures, and took off.
I'm glad we got
Is that what you did on Badlands and?
I didn't go to Badlands this
Okay,
year. I just
yeah.
went to Devil's Tower.
Yeah.
I don't think I've still been to Devil's Tower.
So near Devil's Tower, there's actually some decent roads, but as long as you don't get a bunch of crowd. But the stretch going like most of the way is just interstate or boringness.
Yeah.
But as you get closer, there's some decent little twisties.
There's a lot of people on the road this year. Just a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
I feel like there was more people on the road than they were in downtown Sturgis or
Yeah,
even at Black Hills. Like when I showed up to Black Hills, you know how like there's always people harassing you like, oh, you can't go in here, go in there. I just rode right in. No one said a word to me.
Yeah.
I was like,
Usually when you get there, you know,
Okay.
that whole parking lot's just filled all
no,
the way up.
it was
but
like maybe 3 rows, maybe.
Maybe.
And I was able to go into.
how do
go-
they determine what the amount of people attended
no
an event
idea.
like that?
I don't know.
So you see across the road, they have those like little black wires, and they're basically counting
Yeah.
how many tire travels go across that, and they have some calculation that determines, you know, on average, you know, the same rider is going to cross this 3 times during the week or something like that. So however many passes they actually had one on Vinacre Canyon, which was weird. So they're just counting how many times people cross the road on those little counters, and then divide that by whatever their calculation is.
Okay.
When I went to go get the part for you in the Harley store, dude, I like walked in and walked out with like not running into anyone, no lines, nothing. I was kind of like, dude, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I wonder if more people, because usually before an anniversary year, it seems like it's busier because people are like, oh, we're going to go the year before because it's going to be too busy the next year.
Yeah.
Right? So with next year being the 85th, a lot of people would come this year because they don't plan to go deal with the crowds of next year. Right?
Yeah.
So Sturgis did release their preliminary numbers, and it was like 15, I think it was 15% higher than last year, actually.
For real?
It didn't feel that way.
Man, there's no way.
Yeah, it didn't feel that way. But it was higher according to their, however they calculate it.
Yeah. Must be those same
Brothers are getting out there.
voter registration systems. And,
Call them trikes.
The mail-in voters, yeah.
We
It
need
was
to
just
see
their
the
trikes
IDs.
backing up and over the little sensors
Yeah.
over and over. We'll get these numbers up. We'll pump
Hey,
them
it's
up.
not the RVs with the trailers coming in. They just
Oh, no kidding.
Dude, I feel like the campground this year got, like, I feel like we woke up one night and I looked around. I was like, oh, dude, there's a lot of people here.
It got
campers.
so packed. I will say, so where we camped this year, where you guys normally do or have done, being right next to showers, overall, I think was great. But I wish we would have been like next to those trees, just down a little bit farther.
Yeah, a little bit more shade. Yeah.
Yeah, the shade, and then there were a couple times like where in the middle of the night, like so many people go in the bathroom or like going in the showers and banging and shit like that. And
Yeah.
and you hear it.
Are they screamers?
Hey.
So Matt was in the shower, and he said like 2 down from him, he heard this chick using a vibrator, in the shower, but she like was like playing the news at the same time on her phone.
Maybe she's just an Anderson Cooper.
Right.
Same thing happened to me. I went in and the guy was like, dude, there's people fucking in there. I'm like, what? Sure enough, I'm showering. I'm like, oh shit, there is people fucking over in the next stall over just getting.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, dude, I can't. I don't want to think about these.
Slap
old
her
people.
ass.
Yeah.
Right.
Tag me in, bro.
Trying to get off over here. I need a little bit more energy out of both of you guys.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask Trey, why'd you take an hour and 30-minute fucking shower that day?
Right, well, it takes quarters, so that would have been $10.
Dude, I had the worst. So I don't know how. I must have like only put 50 cents in when I thought it was 75. When thought I put 75 in. I had a moment where I had just put on my face wash and the fucking water shut off, and I was like, "Shit! Now I can't open my eyes to find my quarters."
Fuck. Yeah, I feel like we could have just probably, so many people don't know how to work those shower
I know. It was confusing at
mechanisms.
first.
It is confusing, but it's like you go in there and you show them, but it's like at one point I felt like, man, we should just like charge for this. Like, I can do this for you, but you're gonna have to give me a quarter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Get your free showers. And
capitalism.
Hey, I liked what they did with the bar there.
The bar is
Yeah.
having the concrete in there. Yeah. Well, all right. Let me just say this about the camping before y'all start shaming me.
Oh yeah. It's coming.
So
I ain't doing no more.
I still like to camp. Having the wife come out, the heat.
I get it.
Fucking Jacob snoring so fucking loud. It was just not a great experience, right? And I hadn't seen my wife in 2 weeks. I'm trying to listen to her and stuff, and it's like
We get it. You were trying to get a hand job. We get it.
yeah. I had plenty of hand jobs on this trip. You know what I mean?
Self-induced.
Yeah.
But I like that campground, and you can't deny that it's accessibility to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
The showers are clean.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The
Yeah.
shitters are clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although they need more than 5 because like that backed up a few times.
Yeah, it did.
The line to get in.
The bar is the shit.
The bar
I
is
mean,
nice.
you can go get a 12-pack, or you can sit there. I mean,
Well, the staff this year I thought was pretty awesome.
They were awesome. And
They're friendly. They're like, hey, I remember you. Hey, have a beer on us or something. I'm like,
yeah.
I can't remember
Cool.
the one's name, but yeah, they were totally cool. But so the beers were $4 there, totally fair. But you could buy a 12-pack for $15 too.
Yeah.
And so
way more fair, dude.
right.
And a bag of ice was like $3, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cheap.
Yeah, so to me it's like it still is, a solid place to go with it. You can go camp there and do all this for sub, you can camp there for 5 days for sub $200.
It was $150 for
161 for
with the extra
6
night.
nights. Yeah, 161, I think.
yeah. I mean, did we get there on Wednesday?
Yeah, and we left.
Or no, Thursday. We got
No,
Wednesday.
'Cause
Got there Wednesday.
We were
Yeah.
like excited.
Wednesday
We're
night,
just
Thursday,
gonna show
Friday,
it.
Saturday, Sunday. It's 5 nights.
So $161, you get all that, a tent, or
The shuttle thing was a little bit of that's a hustle, because the shuttle thing is like you have to pay for either you can do an all week pass for like
Oh, you gotta
50 or
pay for the
60
shuttle?
bucks.
I didn't.
I didn't pay for it. I used it
Yeah,
all the
well,
whole
we
time.
fucked up and tried to go get a shuttle pass, and we paid for it, and then obviously there was no checks and balances with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
At all. So, yeah, I
I
could've
just got
just-
on. They were like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "Downtown Sturgis." Sorry, Jace.
Yeah.
No, so and
I'm a
also
rule follower.
starting on Friday is when the campground did like enforce having a wristband,
Yeah,
but
because the rally technically starts Friday.
right.
Yeah.
But all of our friends that came by like just drove right through. They tried to be like, hey, like, and he's like, just kept going. so
Yeah, I remember
so
sitting
it's
at
not
the
like
bar.
enforced super hard.
Sit at the bar, and there was a couple of the homies that pulled up, and they're like, "Dude, this is pretty sweet." And I was like, "I know, right? It's easy." Like they're like, "I didn't know
Yeah.
this existed." And I'm like, "I know."
So let me ask you this: like, obviously the heat is a hard factor in this thing, but like, just think about: is it worth going all that extra effort with the money that it costs to get a house, putting food in the house, and making sure that everything has to work the way it had to work? You know what I mean? Versus that, like, where are you at? Like because you've now done both,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
obviously there's way more comforts in a house. That's just
Yeah.
natural,
Yeah.
but
Go ahead.
I'm kind of down for doing a trailer there for next year.
a trailer like at the campground.
Mm-hmm. Just
Like having
maybe
do they do
maybe
that?
renting one. Yeah, you could rent one and they'll
Just have it
deliver
dropped? Yeah.
just drop there.
I would really like to. So
Or a cabin would be nice.
I was
to
just
be
going to
honest
say
with
the cabin, I think, is what I would like to try, because the only aspect of the camping piece that I was, it's not the biggest problem, but like, when we left on, first thing Monday morning, you got to wake up early, start tearing down, and then my tent's like soaked from the dew and everything in the rain that night. So I would like to do I like the campground, love the location, but a cabin there I think would be the perfect scenario.
you. Yeah.
Because then you don't have to worry about packing anything up. You're sleeping in
Yeah.
AC every night.
Your own
And
private bathroom.
For as hot as it was too, at night it got pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
the night sleeping wasn't that bad,
Oh,
but
yeah.
in the
Better
morning
than
it got warm quick. But
Yeah.
sleeping I was fine from a temperature standpoint. But
Yeah.
I would like to, if I'm not gonna do a house, the cabin piece would definitely be my way.
Well, the house thing is, I mean, like going to Wynn's house is dope, and we stayed right. The house that you guys got last year was awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, what does that house cost to
Well,
rent for?
It was like 16 grand, so I think we were there roughly a week, maybe
Yeah.
slightly
Yeah,
less.
me.
I think I got there
and Zach
Wednesday,
were
right?
there a
Yeah.
week. Yeah. a
So, and then I'm putting that on my credit card for,
Yeah.
a little bit of time, because, not everyone's going to be paying up front, which is fine, type of a thing. You just kind of assume that. But if I did a house again, it would be a smaller house with like at max 8 people. That would be my limit, I think, on a house, because the 16 to 20 people we had last year was, just a
It was
lot.
fun. I mean,
It
it
was-
was fun.
there's
Don't get
no-
me wrong. It was
Well, honestly-
good because it rained so much.
Yeah,
And it was a
yeah.
good spot to hang out and get to know each
Fair.
other. Especially,
Yeah.
that was like our first time, meeting all these people for the most part. But,
Yeah.
just hanging out and
Yeah.
having somewhere to kind of like.
It was nice being at Winton and Scott's party, though, and just if we had to just walk home, we could.
Oh, man, it was. Because I wanted to stay longer. And I was like, man, we got to be good, guys.
Yeah.
We're on bikes. And
Well, that's a good point, because I wonder, when you start getting the smaller houses, you end up having those bunk rooms, so there's like maybe
Exactly.
2 or 3 solid like privacy rooms,
Right.
and then you have like 2 rooms that are probably going to have like where you can sleep like 20 people in it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
And
even,
then-
I had a pretty good heart to heart with Scott, and I was like, yeah, how do you guys manage, like when you just don't vibe with someone that you've invited into the house? He's like, we've had to kick multiple people out,
Yeah.
and not invite them back the next year. He's like, maybe someone else, had a problem with them, but I'm always the bad guy that goes and tells them that. So I think that's a pretty interesting concept when you have that solid of a group and their willingness to just make sure that they
I mean,
keep the vibe great.
It's the same thing we have at our bike night and stuff. Like when people get, they got to get way out of line for us to be like, hey man, you need to reel it back in or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Right.
Haven't had that yet.
yeah, we haven't really had to do it. I mean, we've actually had to do it before you guys started coming around. I
Yeah.
mean, we had way more drama years before
Right.
this stuff ever happened. But it's like, you have to, because if you don't like, the thing is, you want to get everybody to understand, hey, what we're all about. This is what we're about, and if you're about that, then come be about it with us.
Yep.
And if you're not about that, and you have plans to kind of manipulate and change everything, then you're, nip that shit in the bud. You know what I'm saying? Get them out. The house, like I'm not opposed to the house. Like I like the house. I do like the camping because of the accessibility to you. You don't have to, like, the night doesn't have to end
Yeah.
because everybody decided to go to bed early. You can go to that bar at the campground. If everybody's passed out from riding all day and you're like, I'm ready to go, you can go to the bar.
Yeah. And there was.
If you're at a house and everybody's going to sleep,
Yeah.
you're just kind of like alone. You're like what's that Pablo Escobar meme where you just like in the
Yeah.
pool standing around
And
looking?
not to go be riding or driving around after 2 a.m. because they're looking for you.
Fuck 2 a.m. after dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Once
They're
it's like
like,
Last
9.
year, that year when you drove us to Sturgis and we all got fucking hammered, and you drove back, I was like, I feel like I should say something, but he's all right.
It's locked in.
Yeah, I don't want to say, hey, you shouldn't be driving. Then I start driving, I get the DUI. But
It was locked in.
I will say I'm a little conflicted. I don't know what to think on this one though. So that's a great the campground, the Days End, was a great location for downtown Sturgis.
Yeah.
But dude, $18 a drink in downtown Sturgis
That was-
versus $4 in Deadwood, and the Thunderdome, $4 or $6 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
I love the Thunderdome.
So
The Thunderdome.
right.
Thunder. Yeah, it was very conflicting this year. I think I went to the Loud American once to go see some homies, and I was like, "Hey, can I get a Twisted Tea?" They're like, "Yeah, it's $9 just for the stand." I was like, looked at him, I was like, "Are you serious?" And
What's this,
luckily, I don't
Universal
know, some
Studios?
guy-
Yeah, no shit.
I don't know who it was, but he came up. He's like, "Oh, I got his drinks," and I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." He's like, "I've heard about you guys and this and that," and I was like, "Oh, tight, man." And I forgot where they're from. They were super nice dudes, but luckily they bought it. But $9, I was like, "Ooh," I was like, "That's it for me here. I'm gonna
Well,
go back across the street."
You know the night that we all went down to start like the night that my wife got there, that was gonna be the night we go rage in Sturgis.
Yeah.
And I wanted to drink whiskey that night. In every fucking bar, we started at One Eyed Jack's.
Oh, that was the one that we were trying to catch up with you the whole time.
Yeah, and it just never. It seemed like the whiskey and everything they were pouring was like watered or diluted because it didn't work.
It seemed like there was a lot more whale stuff this year. Like I didn't.
Dungeon Bar didn't even
thinking
have
about
any
it,
normal shit.
There
shit.
was no advertising for any whiskeys there.
Mm.
You usually see Jack Daniels, you see.
I was
What's that
surprised-
one American?
Oh, American Metal.
American
Yeah,
Metal.
I didn't
That's
see
what-
any of that this year. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that
Yeah.
necessarily.
So I
I
don't.
think the American Metal stuff they're a smaller brand, so they were kind of more
Right.
niche in shows
but the only
because they
brand-
were at the Buffalo Chip art show.
Do you remember a Fireball girl walking around?
I did get a
And,
lot of
like,
free
beer.
shots at One Eyed Jack's one day when I was there because they were
Yeah.
trying to showcase a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
The outside of One Eyed Jack's, they definitely switched it up a little bit with the White Claw thing out front.
Oh, okay.
Did you guys see that or not?
I don't know.
That shit's still around.
I know.
I really don't drink White Claw.
Yeah.
I know there was a Twisted Tea girl I saw. They were giving out a bunch of Twisted Teas, and man, that was it. I don't really remember seeing too much.
I will say
whiskey
White
brands
Claw
there.
knew which girls to hire. I'll just leave it at that.
They knew which girls to hire.
They knew which ones to hire.
Okay, they brought a good team out.
Yeah.
One Eyed Jack's was not busy this year, dude.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Like I was able to walk around and just not.
How
bumping
was that? Okay, we're talking about Friday night. That's the night that we all went out, but you and a couple guys went to the Saddleman party. How was that?
Dude, that was oh my god, what a good time. What a nice ranch they have. Actually, that was really cool. It was kind of nice to be invited by them, and they invited a couple other guys and showing up, and I was kind of like, oh man, I don't think I'm gonna know anyone really here besides a couple people, and I show up and they're like, hey, and it was it was literally all the industry homies, and beyond that too, and it was really cool. It was, pool, tattoos going on up there. The view was great.
Were any of
dude.
the Instagram influencers that we don't care about there?
No, it was pretty. It was a really.
He
fun
woke up
invite.
and chose violence today.
Yeah, no, it was a really good just invite and solid homies, and they treat us right. Beers, food, catered.
Yeah.
Man, it was like where they're at. They're in this nice kind of hill area. You can see all of Sturgis.
Nice.
You can see all the cars and all the bikes and all that. Man, it was cool. It was a compound for sure.
I still want to get I was talking about it last year when we came in. I want to get that photo of the Sturgis kind of skyline, if you
Dude,
will.
yeah.
Yep.
And I've seen a couple little spots. Maybe if I can hike up to it, I can
Yeah.
get a good shot.
It was cool.
But it's the second year in a row now that I've got the idea, did not execute anything.
Yeah.
Did
It
not
was
try
definitely
at all.
an experience that I would probably go back to.
I've never had a picture of my bike in front of the Sturgis on the hillside thing. So one point I just pulled off on the side street and just so happened the Harley trailer was parked right there too. So you had my bike, the Harley trailer, and then the Sturgis thing.
yeah.
I was like, that's kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the Saddleman thing. That was also the first day that Britta got in.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go out because I knew Saturday night was going to be the Saturday was the show. It was the Thunderdome, but it was also the
V-twin.
No, not the V twin. It was the show that we did the V twin during the day.
Yeah.
But at night,
at night.
That's where I
It's
went
the
riding
Buffalo
all the
Chip.
morning, and then
Yes.
that was a good day.
So Buffalo Chip, every year it was like Michael Lichter's show for the longest. Motorcycles is Art.
Yeah.
And so basically, Dunworth and Savannah now run it, and Dunworth picks bikes to come in to be displayed, and Savannah picks artists to display art. So photographers, painters, custom painters, any kind of art that they can get their hands on to get up there. And it's a cool show. I mean, it's highly like publicized in like worldwide magazines and stuff. And it's like one of those places when you're sitting there at this particular day, like when it opens, you have to kind of get a, I would say it's kind of like the Saddleman. You got to get an invite. It's not just like open to the public yet. And then, but when you're there, like you're literally like rubbing elbows with like people who own big things in the motorcycle industry. So it's like a great opportunity to network. And so that's kind of why we go and just try to show face and see people and say what's up. And that's actually where I was hanging out with Oliver from the Cut Rate, because he had a couple bikes in there this year.
Hey, that was a good dude to meet.
Oliver's the shit, dude.
That was like a starstruck moment for a second.
Look, I all my favorite builders are they're equally as cool as they are bike builders, if you will. So, Oliver's one of those for sure.
He's a cool dude. Very cool dude.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, I wanted to go to the Saddleman party. I really did.
Yeah.
I just think I was looking forward to drunk sex more. I'm just being real.
I mean, you've been on the road for 8 weeks. I get it.
I'm like, yeah,
I
dude.
get
Like,
it.
I'm gonna get her toasty tonight. I'm gonna pop this air mattress, brother. Then we get back to the fucking tent. It's like Jacob snoring. I can't even. There's nothing that's gonna happen here. It's like
I don't remember what time
we just held
that
each other.
I know we didn't.
Were you the
stay
big
late.
spoon or the little spoon?
Yeah, we didn't stay
We
late
swapped.
there, and I think we went to downtown. It was Landon from Lubbock, Texas. His first Sturgis.
Dude, he was a blast actually there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
enjoyed having him there. He was funny as hell.
You
man.
know that was a last second decision. He was like,
Yeah, he
"Should I
said
come?"
it.
He's like, "I was like, dude, come on." And sure enough, rode the whole way. And man,
It was cool to
You
see
got to
Landon
soak it up.
because when we left on our trip to go
Yeah.
to Born Free, we stopped and had breakfast with him in Lubbock.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool to come full circle and see him almost at the end of my trip.
Yeah.
Technically the same. I saw him at the
Got to eat
beginning.
breakfast.
Oh, that's a good
where I
point.
drove
Yeah,
back.
it was basically
Yeah.
the same trip. Yeah.
Where
It's also cool seeing you and Matt come out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, Dwayne would have been cooler if he would have just. Dwayne always comes up there to hang out with other people, and he hangs out with us the whole time.
That's right.
It makes no damn sense.
And he shipped his bike.
Wow.
Blaze 2 was awesome to hang out this whole time too. I
Yeah.
had a blast
Dwayne
with
seems
him.
like he's like really starting to show his money.
Right.
It's like, all right, dude, we get it. You got a little bit of money.
Well,
You start riding
he's
it?
gotten in tight with Chris from where we stayed in Havasu.
They're boys now.
So
Yeah.
they're boys. So Chris's guy ships up all the bikes for free. So Dwayne got to just put his bike on a free trailer and fly up. So,
rich guy problems.
Yeah. Fucking Dwayne.
You know, I'm really glad I got the ride this year. I think I was due for a long trip. I think I put about 4,000 miles on my bike. going
Yeah.
around.
this trip.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
For
it
sure.
Was, it was good.
I would have been about that.
It was. yeah. That's for later on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like how, like, I mean, when I was finished with this trip, I had zero desire to want to be on another road trip on a bike. But I'm already like, I got ideas for next year now. So it's like it's one of those things like
It kind of
Right.
it grabbed me up to do another one. I think I'm kind of in my mind just ready to do a big solo.
Yeah.
I think
Where would you
I
go?
always I think I want to split it between doing a West Coast and then there's a East Coast trip I would like to do at some point. But maybe go out west first, hit California, Salt Lake City, go to Montana, see all the homies. Just kind of just stop by and just.
I
kinda
feel
take
like
it all
from
in.
not that, I mean, you're inevitably going to hit weather, but I feel like if you go west, your likelihood of missing weather is better than going east.
yeah,
Just bring it on now. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit anymore.
you're over it.
I got this.
can
I
deal
got
with it
this
all.
nice old Odin rain suit. I just don't give a shit no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I didn't hit rain one time my whole trip.
This, fuck. Yeah, that's for later.
That's why. But it's
Yeah.
because I brought a rain suit though.
Yeah.
If I didn't bring a rain suit, I'd been
Dude,
fucked.
that's exactly every time I bring a rain suit, it never rains. The handful of times I didn't bring a rain suit, it's downpoured.
We only caught
Every
rain
time.
for 10 minutes coming up, and then
Yeah.
it was perfect. It felt great though. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, 10-minute
Give
rain
this-
is like
yeah.
okay, shit.
Yeah.
Well, it depends
Just
on how
enough to cool
hot it
you off.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends
Cool
on
off
how
the
hot
bike.
it is on the other side of the storm. If it's
Oh,
like,
it got hot as hell.
Yeah.
yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I said, I was telling you guys before. I think that the next trip that's like for me is probably going to be the EDR for next year. Like I want to do that whole like dip my toe in. I still got to get a passport. I don't know who did this.
I got to get a passport too. So if
Somebody
we both do it,
Okay, we can
together.
do it together.
Yeah.
All right, because I keep telling my wife, it's like, babe, just fucking figure everything out.
Let's just go get.
Yeah.
We
Just
got to
do
get
it.
our photos done,
Yeah,
and then we just got to go to the post office. And I think that's it.
yeah. So I want to do it, just get it
You can
over
get your
with.
photos at the post office too if you want to.
Yeah.
Certain ones. I looked it up. I think it's the one in Mansfield can, and then the one over here, but the one in Malo.
You can actually take your own, and then, or you could go like Walgreens, because like
I could
they,
take
they
my
are
own.
pretty, they are fairly particular about how how close you are, and like how much they capture of
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Of
I don't
you.
think
So
you can smile or anything. You just gotta be
yeah,
next shot.
I think a lot of it's the background. You have to have like a real basic background. But
clear background, like plain white or plain blue.
for Jace, he's probably be insulted, being the fact that it's like
Hey.
the photographer guy's gonna go
Yeah,
get
but
some
that's
fucking
a-
schmuck to take a portrait
I
photo.
mean, you can literally go to Walgreens and they'll take it for you
Yeah,
too.
but that kind of photo, it's like, yeah, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But no, I want to do that. I think it'd be a great chance. Now that I've met some of the people that work there,
Yeah.
Otto
Oh,
and
yeah.
the rest
Oh,
of the
yeah.
crew, it's like, just be cool. And there's an opening where they personally invited me to come do it with them, and
That'd be cool.
which means any of my homies.
So
and
for
stuff.
anyone listening, like, what's the route of El Diablo?
It's I think they don't go through San Diego. They go through I think it's closer to Yuma, or it's like around there. They cross over.
Mexicali, then.
I think it's Mexicali, and then it's like there's one stretch where it's like he said it on the podcast. There's like 100-something miles of no gas, so you have to. A lot of people have to bring like a gas can or whatever. But he said like when you're there, dude, it's like he talked all about it in the podcast we did, the auto podcast.
Yeah, I started it.
And I want to go, man. I think being all the guys on the crew, we were talking about doing it next year. We had to postpone our trip for this year to finish the last 3 states. So I don't know how we'll figure this out, but I'm for sure doing this next year. I'm gonna do another bike, like a new bike for it. So
Cool.
you know,
Oh yeah. Do you know which model?
yeah, 90 to 99 Softail.
Ooh,
Okay.
dang. All right, Chopper Jace, Chopper Jace.
When did they start the Softail? I thought that did they start it at 90?
No, 84 I think is the first year of the Softail.
Was it really that far back?
Well, the triangle swing arm Softail.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because what's his name rode the Fat Boy in the Terminator 2, and that was
It was
89?
92.
92.
Yeah.
It's that they're brown.
So
brown
well,
juice.
I just watched that
It's
the
a
other
great it's a great bike to chop and turn into a hardtail. So like I said, I bought the Sportster to do a chopper on that, and then the more I've learned about that culture, it's like, well, I can do a Softail and have a big twin motor just as easy, and those fuckers are cheap as hell, dude.
Yeah.
You know, so like I'm gonna go that route, but I'm not trying to make a fucking dirty dude chopper. I'm just gonna be pretty. So
yeah.
Yeah.
but I want to make it nice. I want a hardtail, and I want to travel across country in a hardtail
Yeah,
while I can. I think I can, and then you know.
you can do it.
But I also got the RT that I'm picking up next week or 2 weeks from now, so that's gonna be the all out
Is that the
FXR.
police one?
No, it's just a full fairing, bags, all that stuff. FXR. I don't know if I'm a twin cam or M8 it yet. It's like twin cam. It's just like easier and
Yeah.
faster, and
Reliable.
I'm not, you know.
It's a good motor.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I just did.
Evo could be a good motor if you just take care of them.
Yeah, Evos are actually really solid. They're great motors. You just got to get a good starting point and deal with all that shit. So
Stuff.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited. I want to do new challenges, new ways, and I think right now it's finding a way to kind of find stuff to do that's challenging, but you're actually interested in. That's kind of that's kind of the thing that I'm realizing is that I have ideas to build something a lot of times, but it's like I'm really kind of building this for like the Instagram or the current trends.
Yeah.
It's like finding something that you're truly wanting to build is kind of like the hard. It's you never really know what that is, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's why you got to go into all these different rabbit holes of like things in the motorcycle world to be interested or to learn more about it, to find out if you're actually interested in it.
Right.
You know, because
Yeah.
FXRs are great and fuck, everybody's getting into them right now. You know, that post FXR tour clarity is definitely in effect. I mean, a lot of the performance motorcycle scene seems to be taking a turn into FXRs, which is something. I mean, I've just kind of noticed how many people are jumping into it, and I'm not saying that in any kind of like shade. Like, I'm just like it seems measurable right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's good
For
though.
sure.
I love it. I love seeing it. And almost, I thought about buying that M8 FXR, the frame and the motor from Robert
Oh,
Cheeks.
yeah.
from that shit went
'Cause
quick.
yeah.
Corey was
As soon as I hit
Corey's
him
trying
up,
to build another
it was
one.
like,
so.
it's already sold. I was like, fuck, dude. I already had a 10 set in mind. I was just going to do a naked, just no bags, no fairing, just a clean FXR build with it.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted the chrome motor, all chrome everything. It is what it is. Next time.
Austin got it. So Chick Soda.
Yes.
Oh, is that who
Yeah,
got it?
yeah.
Is that who got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see his All American FXR. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be, he's in the trenches now, getting it done. So hopefully,
Yeah.
really hoping to see him at Born Free
That'd be cool.
Texas this year. It'd be cool.
Speaking of Born Free, I'm conflicted of what I want to do for Born Free. I don't know if I'm staying for the whole weekend or showing up for a day or something like that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's. I know there's people that can't make it, and that's completely understood. But
Yeah.
it's a Texas event, so there's no fucking way I'm not going and doing everything I can to make
Right. Of
it a
course.
good event. Because I'm also
I'm
talking
gonna
shit
show
to
up.
everybody in California. You know, Taylor, fucking Shifter Crew, LFG, all those guys. Like,
Are they coming?
he's supposed to be.
All right.
You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
The call out is now.
Yeah.
Let's see you guys.
Prove it.
Yeah, ride your bikes, dude. They did.
It won't even be hot through Arizona that time of year.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's not even hard to cross the fucking hell of the desert. Taylor rode from Shifter Crew rode from, San Diego area all the way up to Sturgis this year. So
Damn.
yeah, he did it.
And he just missed his iron butt coming home, it looked like.
Well, he's also from Michigan, so he's not really a Californian.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe it's
Yeah.
just not in their bones. Since he's more of a Midwest guy, you know what I mean?
I guess bringing it back to Sturgis, I mean, what was y'all's favorite event at Sturgis
Ooh.
this year?
I truly actually will sit here and say probably the Shifter Crew show with Cruzy and at the Thunderdome
Yeah,
was,
man.
was a good time.
That, I agree.
That was, I mean, when they're, it was so funny because when we got there, like, oh, hey, happy hour's on, $2 tall boys. I'm like, hell yeah,
Dude.
Yeah.
And what was
Best
funny,
deal ever.
what was funny was I went up there. My watch was like must have been off by a couple minutes, so I went up there and I was like, "Hey, I got a couple more minutes for the happy hour." And like, "Oh no, it just switched over." I'm like, "What? How much is it?" And like $6. And I was like pissed initially, and I was like, "Wait a minute, $6 for a tall boy is still great."
Yeah, that was great. I had a blast too. I think that was probably one of my highlights of Sturgis this year was going to the Shifter Crew show.
Did y'all get to watch any of the Cruzy stunt
Yeah,
show stuff?
oh hell yeah. We showed up kind of early, and then we caught the Cruises show, which is great. It's good seeing them, and then starting to realize how like nice the Thunderdome was. They had all the porta coolers, and then the shade, the AC kind of stuff, and then like the cheap beers, and then all the bartenders were cool, and then they kept on giving us like little Jello shots and stuff like that. So I was pretty impressed with
apparently
that,
this
man.
year was new ownership, and I got to meet the owner very briefly when I was
It was
talking
the
to Cruzy.
Beaver Bar.
Yeah, it was
Used
the
to be
Beaver Bar originally.
yeah.
Great spot. What Cruzy is trying to do with that, along with Shifter Crew, LFG, a lot of the homies, Bamco, all that stuff, they're just trying to create a space that's like a hub for like our world, our scene, which is dope. I think
love
it's good.
It was perfect.
As long as the ownership of that place can kind of you got to it's like when the performance thing started to pop off in my world, it wasn't here. And when I would go reach out to the dealers here, I was like, look, you can get on this in ground level, right? But it's not going to be lucrative yet.
Yeah.
You have to build a foundation so that once it's really swept across the country, you're already there. You're already, you bought land before it became gentrified, basically.
Yeah. Right.
And so what they can do, not that they're, seeing people like Cruzy and fucking Blockhead and all these people there, like it's connecting to like all this stuff that's going on in the world of what, I guess modern motorcycling is.
Yeah.
Where they consume all this shit. So I think it's got a great opportunity. It's just as long as they stay on the course, of like
stay consistent.
Like leaning into it,
I wonder if, and I didn't really pay attention, like what's the camping scene at Thunderdome like?
They have camping.
Yeah, I saw that.
But they don't have trees though.
Yeah, when
Exactly.
Taylor said that they're staying there at the cabins, I was like, where? And I went to go to the back and I saw.
Oh, they have cabins too?
They have
they do.
cabins. I saw that. I didn't see any tents. I just saw mostly like trailers.
The only
The
reason,
only-
the only
I
reason why I
get
say,
that.
the only reason why I say that is because, man, like cutting across that part of Sturgis sucks.
Yes, it is the worst. It is sucks.
But
It does
but here's
suck.
the thing, like if you were staying at Thunderdome, and let's say you wanted to go to Deadwood, there's a route that you can cut down to 90. To 90? Yeah, 90.
Yeah.
And go up without going through downtown Sturgis. So
It's not a dirt roads.
no, well, you kind of go into the first part of downtown and then cut through.
Yeah, that
and
first
then,
light.
and then you actually come out on that exit that would go to Vinacker Canyon.
Yes, yeah.
32 is that I think.
I think
but
so.
Either way, so that's a good way of cutting out that stretch of downtown Sturgis.
Yeah.
On Lozelle.
Well, that's the only thing that also sucks about like, because me and Taylor talked a lot about it because originally the show was going to be on Sunday, which is when they
Really?
be the FXR show, and I was like, bro, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
bad idea.
and that's kind of the thing about like Sturgis and shows is that there are a lot of things that are kind of like there already. It's been there. It's going on. There's no point in trying to step on toes. Like,
Yeah.
I want to go to a Shifter Crew show. I want to go to a V-Twin show, but I also want to go to the FXR show.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to make a choice on that right then, and
I mean, we did have a Texas Suite.
yeah, well,
Just saying.
And I hand it to Taylor too. Those trophies are badass. I mean, all the block aluminum and ARP bolts and acrylic and all this other stuff. I mean, it's a cool trophy.
it was like, I think because I was hanging out with them the day before y'all showed up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with them before I went to go link up with you guys when y'all rode in, and he was assembling them things, and he was like, I don't know if he wants me to put it out there, but fuck it, I am anyway. It's like $1,700 or $1,800 for those four or five trophies.
Five trophies.
Yeah.
5
trophies.
Yeah, I heard similar
I was
stats.
like, bro, like you care.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
why?
good, though.
Right.
That's super good.
It's like, do what everybody else. No, it's good that it is a trophy like that because it means something to like put that on a shelf or have it. You know what I mean?
And what I like about it too is it's a trophy that's big, but the way it's designed, you can still like even if you have pretty packed saddlebags, you can fit that well. So I don't know if they thought about that from that standpoint. If you're riding home,
Bro, turn the glass.
my first beer.
Angles. 45. It's like a
I'm
V-twin
trying
engine.
to. I'm trying not to make the mess. Drink 805. Trying to be proper here. All right.
Bro, does he know how to turn? He know how to pour beer without the phone?
That's the second
Why are
one
you
he's done
looking
like
at
that.
Devin?
That's the second one he's done like that.
Oh yeah.
Why are you looking at him?
No, it's all good. But yeah,
Oh yeah, here. Let me. You can.
I like I said, I went to, so about Taylor, and I think he's actually listening maybe. While I was in California after Born Free, I went to his house to go do a podcast with him. I did the podcast with LFG, and then when Dustin left, me and him were going to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And we walked across the street to the Ralph's or whatever the fuck it was and bought a bottle of Buffalo Trace,
Great whiskey.
went back to his house, and just sat on his kitchen table and talked. Not on a microphone, just got to know each other.
Yeah.
Cleaned off that bottle, was gone.
Yeah.
We were fucked up, had a great time.
No podcast.
no podcast.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, and we've been in communication since then, and we've been talking a lot more. And it's like I like that aspect because it was I don't know, it's just the dude's real. He's a real dude. You know what I mean? He's he's got a good brand that's growing. He has a partner, and I haven't met the partner that he has with the Shifter Crew situation, but like he's just a solid dude, and he's an honest guy.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
you feel like he's just real. You
So
know what
to
I'm
that
saying?
point, the very first time I ever met Taylor was at the V-Twin Visionary show just before his show, and he didn't even bring up his show initially, but like he showed genuine interest in me, my bike, everything else, like how I got there. And he's like, "Oh, hey, I got a show." I'm like, "Oh yeah, Jace already told me about that." He's like, "Oh, awesome! I'm so glad you're gonna come by." Like, so the genuineness of him, of wanting to know who you are, was amazing.
I mean, I met him at the La Pera booth when I was with you. That
We were
day.
hanging out that day,
going
yeah.
Just round brands and hanging out.
Yeah.
That was cool. I liked him.
I like him because you could talk shit to him, and he talks shit back, and he takes it, and he doesn't take it
And
personal.
he laughs about it.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. It's like, hey, I can hang out with this dude.
yeah.
We get it.
That's like the vibe check. You know what I mean? Can you deal with like sarcasm?
Yeah.
A little jokingly narcissism. Like, you know what I mean? Can we play this game? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's just funner. You know what I mean?
I like it.
More fun.
More
That was
fun.
great. More fun.
I corrected myself on that one.
It was a good
But no, it's fun, and he's got a lot of great ideas growing that show. I mean, a show is hard if you really think about it.
sure.
It's hard to put on a show because
Especially when the year before it was a Hell Yeah Brother spot, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been to the Beaver Bar in Daytona, and I was the youngest dude there by like 40 years. I promise you.
Yeah.
And you could kind of sense it when you were there, right? You could kind of see like the older crowd was coming like, oh, what is this? Oh, they're doing stunts on Harleys? I've never seen this. It's like, dude, this has been going on for Sturgis, I don't know, the Bell Brawl and all that. It's been a little while now, but just kind of getting people out, seeing these bikes. And then when the show happened, people were like, I don't think I've ever seen this before. Are those nitrous bottles? No, those are shock reservoirs. You know what I mean? So I think it was hard.
Did
to
they when they had
transition over to
they
that.
had the Beaver Bar? Did they always have that big old tower thing up front? I don't remember that last year.
No,
I don't know that because
that was
I
the
went up
first.
on it
Yeah.
when I was hanging out with those guys, and it felt pretty fucking new.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do not
Like,
remember
that
that
was
being
cool.
there last year.
It was cool to watch people get pulled over from there.
Right.
That's the only problem with that place. Is it like if you stay there after dusk,
Yeah. you
from
got-
there back to anywhere, it is just solid fucking.
And it's so
Cops.
cheap to drink there. It's easy to kind of
It's
lose your
hard,
shit there.
right?
Well, that's it just sucks about that the Sturgis situation is that if you want to go get your drink on, it's just, bro, you have to be
Gotta
mindful
Be smart.
of like the cops because
Yeah.
once the rally starts is when all the extra cops come into play
Yeah.
and they're just
The
looking to
state
pull
troopers.
people over. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So trying to
me-
make that money.
I think it was Saturday night. Me and Gino had to go. I don't know the dude. This is one of his homeboys, but we had to go get his bike from. He was getting pulled over. He's getting DUI, and we had to go get his bike from the state troopers. And they luckily let us take it. And just park it in the booth at King Tony's booth. But I was like, oh shit, man! And it was like
Gino
maybe
got the DUI or someone else did?
No, someone else did.
Oh.
It was another. I don't know whom.
We need to find
know
out
him.
for sure.
But it was like at
If
3
this-
a.m.
Oh, 3 a.m.
Yeah, it was 3 a.m. Me and Gino were just hanging out all night. We're just bullshitting all night. And got a call. I was like, hey, man.
But y'all were drinking too, right?
Yeah, but.
How does that work?
Yeah. Right.
I know I was not good to do that. So
But if two people
they
can't,
let Gino. Yeah.
They breathalyzed the guy.
They were,
they
the
caught
state
first, but
troopers
no
were
one
actually
else.
cool. They were actually like cool about it. And they were like, oh, the.
but
booth's
you're
right
drunk
there.
too,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
if two
listen.
people go to pick
but-
up the bike, that means one person has to drive.
I don't
the
think
truck.
But if the
Gino was
first guy
as
goes, let me
drunk.
call my sober friend, and like this
Yeah.
drunk guy comes up, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, he must be sober. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's good.
I'm in overalls, dude. Look at me. I am drunk.
I came here to get drunk.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing that sucks about it. But I feel like we should at some point in time really do the research and find out if that whole story of if you get a DWI in Sturgis, you can pay on the spot and do something with this lawyer situation where it doesn't go on your record, so you don't have like those things coming back to
Pretty sure,
Texas
yes.
or California.
I've heard it, but I don't.
I've spread that rumor quite a bit in the last
I
fucking
vote Trey
10
to
years.
try it out.
Oh no, no, I have no. I like my money and I like my job, so let's not do that.
Dude, DWIs suck, man.
Yeah.
They really do. And you never get them when you're really fucked up.
It's like 3 beers in.
It's like
It's always that when you're just over the limit, that's where you get fucked. It's like,
Yeah, you're
you
pointing.
think you're good. You're like, oh,
you're
I'm
kind
good.
of
I'm not-
confident. Like I'm gonna blow the fuck out of this dude right quick.
Jace wants to tell him, you think I'm fucked up now? You should have seen me last night.
You're gonna blow the fuck out of this dude? Is that really what you just
Watch
said?
this.
Yeah.
Hold my beer.
Especially you can't. The road from Sturgis to Deadwood is probably like the most covered by cops.
Sturgis to Deadwood?
Yeah.
Buffalo chipped at Sturgis. Seems
Well, that's
worse.
yeah.
But I'm talking about if you're trying to go like back to Deadwood to
Well,
Sturgis or Sturgis to
well,
Deadwood
so
at night.
Sturgis to Deadwood, if you know what you're doing, there are like 2, maybe 3 spots where they always sit.
Yeah.
Outside of that, they're never there.
Yeah.
Once it opens up, like the lanes open up to 2 lanes after you go through the little canyon part, that's where it's like you got to like be calm because you're probably stuck behind a trike or a goddamn slingshot or some shit, and then it opens up and you want to go around them, and that's like where the golf course is.
Yep.
There's usually cops sitting there, and then
Right.
right before you get to
Yep.
the exit or to the entrance
We
of
got
like
pulled over last year.
Yeah.
That spot.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I got pulled over last year going back to the house before we were leaving. And it just, that day I just didn't feel like drinking. I had
It was
one
towards
beer.
the end. It was
I had
the very-
one beer.
I think it was like maybe the last day. So like
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a beer at the bar, the place that has the swimming pool at it. We went to the show there.
It was right across the street from Thunder. Well, it
Yeah.
was Beaver Bar then, whatever that place is called.
So I had one beer there, but then it was like 4 hours later. And it's one of those deals where it's like, all right, he said, have you had anything to drink today? Today, all day? Like,
right.
because like, yes, I've had a drink today, but I've had one beer. Like how,
Like if it was hours ago, it doesn't matter. It was gone.
so I'm like, no, dude, I haven't drank. I was judging a bike show.
Yeah.
And then he's like, so if I do something like give you a breathalyzer or some shit, I'm not going to find any alcohol. I was like, bro, like I'm kind of pissed at this point.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of confident that I can.
Yeah.
I'm not drunk, but I don't know if there's
You don't
like
feel like you're not trying to be deceitful, but he's asking the question like, am I gonna see anything but 0.00?
Well, but to that point, like let's say you say, I haven't had anything, and he's like, oh, you're gonna blow 0.00. Even if you blow 0.05 or whatever, he cannot do shit to you.
Yeah.
Cannot. So
Yeah. Fuck him.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't like cops. I mean, I support the blue or whatever the fuck that is, but I don't like cops.
Right.
I just like cops to be there to help other people, and hopefully one
Stay
day
on
I'll
my
actually
business.
get a chance to use 911. But I've never dialed that number in my life. So
Man, I got a buddy that's a Dallas cop, and he's been telling me some 911 stories. It's just some of the wild shit that they get.
I think whenever Jetty's bike got stolen when I was riding it to HPI, I had my brother call 911 because I didn't want to do it on my phone. So I have used the service, but I have not physically dialed those numbers myself. So I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Growing up I mean, like there's no. It's not that you hate cops or nothing like that. Like you love it. You understand the necessity for everything, but it's just like the concept of. I don't know. If you grow up on the other side of things a lot, you just don't. You have like a weird balance with police.
That was Jace's weird flex. Yeah, you grew up in the hood, dog. We get it.
No, not
we
hood.
get
Like,
it.
I
He's
didn't
like,
grow
I
up
don't call
hard.
the cops. We don't talk to them.
It's just everything I did growing up was illegal, like
Right.
like skateboarding and then street racing, and then
Right.
I'm not saying I was doing drugs and running prostitutes. I'm just saying that I did things that when you were a kid, like you were always hassled by cops. So,
Could you imagine Jace as a pimp?
dude, I'd be so nice. Man, Ariel, how are you feeling? Can you pop that pussy for a real dude tonight, or not?
We're gonna need you to focus. We're gonna
Hey,
need
I'm
you.
gonna need you to clean yourself
Hey,
up.
up your production.
Come
Let's
back.
let's strategize right here. Let's figure out a couple goals, some reachable ones, some bigger ones that we can all go towards.
Where are your bottlenecks?
Yeah.
And you get more throughput.
Yeah. Where's my bottom bitch at? I need her here right now. figure this out.
I'm too empathetic. I couldn't be mean if I wanted to. It's like, yeah, that dude was gross. I don't blame you, but it's kind of the job. You know?
No, Jace, you're not fucking hurt. He's not. You're not fucking that dude. He's gross. That's fucking nasty.
that's gross.
We'll find somebody else. You're too good for it. You can't. You
know what,
you won't
yeah,
even sell yourself out for sponsors for your podcast or anything else. You think
Candy,
you're
you're
gonna?
too
You think
good
you'd
for
be having
this.
your chicks like throwing stuff
No,
out?
I'm
to
gonna
anyone?
give my percentage away. Like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna only take 5% because that was fucking disturbing. So you keep my.
I've walked through the red light district in Amsterdam before, and that's an experience.
Have you been to?
Don't tell on yourself, dude.
I'm not. No, I'm not telling myself. I'm just areas I've worked in Dallas. Have you ever gone through like you know where like Strokers is in the cottage?
Yeah.
If you go a little bit northeast of that, it'll feel like that.
On Harry Hines?
North of that, yeah.
Okay. So a company I used to work for has a big distribution center right in that area.
It's crazy.
And they some of the employees actually made a parody video of why you should work there, and like they're literally at like showing the warehouse or whatever, and then they pan across the street and see all the women of the night.
Dude,
the women of the day and then the women of the night.
The worst place I've ever seen, obviously, in Los Angeles, Figueroa Street is notorious for that. And then when I went to New Orleans, in East New Orleans, literally like open process, like you're talking 30 just standing there on there.
Dude, no.
You know,
The area
apparently
I'm talking about
Deadwood
is-
had a brothel that ran all the way up until either the 90s or the late 80s.
Really?
So Sturgis had
God,
like
what a terrible
I'm not
time to
surprised.
be going
Yeah.
to Sturgis.
I'm not surprised.
We need to bring it all back. Bring it all back.
what if there was a street in
Well-
Sturgis like where you could go find some streetwalkers?
I mean, I think it's still there. It's just in the IG influencer world.
They're at Influencer Mountain in the big rented houses.
I don't.
That was our house last year.
You're not wrong.
I don't know. Where are we at?
I don't know. What are we doing?
Well, the Shifter Crew show was fun. It was good. I mean, Taylor, for coming to Sturgis for his first time ever, putting that show together for it to all come out well. I mean, it's hard to get people to go to anything in Sturgis, period, right?
Yeah.
Most people that go to Sturgis do this. They have one or two events that they really want to hit, and the rest of it, they're trying to fulfill like this experience. So they're going to do the rides. They want to do like the bar scene. They want to, do this or that or the other. So when you have a show that's coming in new, it takes time to build the rapport to where people don't want to miss it the way FXR show is or some of Jeff's shows are.
Right. Do you think it was easier this year because there were some shows missing this year compared to the other years?
What shows were missing, though?
Hardcore's gone.
Hardcore wasn't there. That was the main one.
That was basically it.
But I hadn't been to that show in like a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Here's the one thing that, and I'm not dogging any show, but if you come to a show and put your bike in it, it's 4, 5, sometimes 6 hours long. I feel like there needs to be something to like keep the people that bring your bikes in to keep entertained.
Yeah, a little entertainment while you're sitting there.
I don't know what that is. I'm not saying I have a solution right now, but I mean
it's
that's
not a bike wash. It's not. I don't know what it is, man.
that's the thing is where I'm kind of over the bike show scene just for the simple. And actually, Thunderdome had a better scenario because you pulled into the bar, and you're still able
hanging
to,
out.
You're hanging out so that was better.
Yeah.
And they had some bands going.
And they had some bands.
And they had I forgot their fucking names. Flaunt girls walking around doing their little.
So I will say
stuff.
that was the better experience of everything. But I would like to brainstorm with some people, Taylor included, on like what can we do from a. And actually, they had some games that was kind of fun. Outside,
that was fun.
the slow races and
cruising
stuff like that.
Yeah, that was fun.
So that was good. So I think that's a good start. But I think we need to do, or whoever does some show, Shifter Crew, do something where there's more different types of entertainment with your bikes in the show because you are stuck in that location for hours.
That's a good point. some beer pong.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
I think they had cornhole, but do people still play cornhole? Like I used to fucking like see a cornhole board, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I'm
think
trying
so.
to fuck some dudes up real quick.
I
You know what I'm saying?
Pickleball kind of took over that, and then
Yeah,
now
nah.
pickleball's out of the scene.
Yeah, that's gay.
So I don't know what the next.
If you
I don't
see
know.
a dude-
Hey, go to Cole Park and watch those chicks play pickleball.
It gets pretty serious. Trust me. On
No,
the fire
no,
department, people love
they're
it.
wearing like. Never mind.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Pickleball skirts
Do they got
and yoga
volleyball
pants. That's
girl
what it's about.
shorts?
Oh,
booties.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
I like it.
You don't even have to play pickleball. Just go to watch.
So what's the premise of this game?
yeah.
Well, yeah, like trying to find a way to entertain people all day. I mean, Taylor was actually talking about that. It's like, how do you do it? Sometimes the show doesn't need to be 6 hours long.
Right.
But here's the thing.
A few hours, maybe.
The event place, the Thunderdome,
Totally
or wherever it's at, they
Yep.
need it to be 6 hours long because they're trying to keep more people there
Buying
to
their beers.
potentially buy beers and whatever the fuck else,
The
and
new people
Agreed.
on the scene.
patronize all the people that are paying
Agreed.
it for vendor spaces, right?
Completely agree.
The new people on the scene. They're
That's why, like, so at the FXR show, they do the raffle tickets and things like that. There's things that are taking place throughout the day. The FXR show is different because so many people are connected to this motorcycle and this culture and the people. So you spend most of the time, the 6 hours goes by so quick because there's John Jessup, there's so-and-so, there's Speed Dealer, there's, this guy, that guy, blah, blah, blah. You're talking to
I was
people all
talking
day
to
long,
Everyone the whole time. Yeah, there was not one moment I don't think I was there without seeing someone and just catching up for
Right.
15.
What y'all think about the FXR show?
I loved it. I mean,
It's cool.
it's always good. I
Yeah.
think it's always
It's
good.
more of a mixer more than it's a show,
Yeah,
right? Because
I feel like that's what a true show should be to me. I feel
Well,
like that's what
I
brings-
wouldn't
it's
say a true show.
It's a culminating event of appreciation of people like, hey, this shit sucked. Now you're fucking here. This is what you were here for. You know what I mean? And here's your award, not award, but appreciation towards you
Yeah,
for doing the
Yeah.
hard shit. Instead of a show, it's like, here's your fucking award. See y'all next year.
Yeah. Well, the FXR show is good because there is so many people that are friends and everybody's kind of interconnected because of this motorcycle.
It's a better
That-
community.
You have brands and people within it giving away awards or picks or whatever you would want to say.
Yeah.
And then you have like what Joe Kidd does with the Triple Crown, which is a cool thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like the difference to me between a show, that's a mixture, that's a hang, it's a show, but it's like a show to me is you built a bike, you brought it there, it's being judged by not your peers, but people that are going down a list and literally looking at the nuts and bolts of everything that was built by and judging it based on the fact that, all right, he did all the things. Now step back. Does it all work? Yeah, it really does. When I look at this bike, I love it. And that's kind of what happened at the Shifter Crew show where we came down to the Dyna class. Because you had Robbie's bike and then you had this, I think it was a chick's bike behind it, but the chick's bike was to the nines,
Yeah.
like money spent on it.
Yeah.
So the question was, we had Trent pick this from Cruzy, so it's like not on me, but we said, look, when I judge a show, I try to do this: step back. What would I want? What am I drawn to? Like what aesthetically? How did this bike come together? Does it have the parts? Does it not? I mean, is it like what is it like? Which one draws me to it, right? And that's how how Trent picked the Robbie's bike. He says, well, I like fairings, and I kind of want to ride his bike more than I want to ride her bike.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And that's how he picked. That's how we ended up taking the sweep almost.
Really? Okay.
Who else? Like it was your bike, Corey's bike, Robbie's
Robbie.
bike, and then Dwayne's.
Dwayne.
But there was another one, right? That wasn't.
So best of show.
Oh,
was like
it was
Oregon.
Mike.
Yeah, the guy from
Yeah.
Oregon.
Yeah, Mike, Mid City Mike.
He's from California.
No, he's
Oh,
Oregon.
Yeah,
Oregon?
it's
Bend,
sure it's
yeah.
Oregon.
He's cool as shit. I
like him.
I saw his bike in. This is the first time I ever going to an event and like doing bike shows because he was hungry for trophies, and I'll talk that shit right now. But he was hungry for trophies. But his bike was special to him, and I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
his mother It was an
Yeah, like
homage to
his mom's ashes are in the frame or something like that.
painted. It's in the paint or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Well, I think he also like when they cut open the frame.
Oh.
they dumped a little bit in the frame too.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
it's
Um,
your bike, Robbie's, Corey's, and then Dwayne.
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 So
but-
4 of the
Or
5
the
trophies.
But what I loved about Mid City Mike's bike was if you looked inside the fairing, he had like all. I'm pretty sure they were dumb switches, but I can't remember what it said now. But it was like it got progressively more like over the top, and like there was like Pussy Getter or something like that at the last one, you know. So it was just hilarious.
Well, I met him through Taylor, hanging out with them, and like rad dude, like fun,
Trey, pull your mic a little
good vibe, good fucking good energy. And I so badly want to get these guys from California, you know, Mid City Mike, Taylor, Dustin, you know, Steven, Joshua, these guys to come to Texas. Just come to Texas to Born Free, but come early and go to our bike night. Then go to the pre-party.
Right.
Like we'll put you guys up. You know, this is a nationwide call out.
I got the keys to the firehouse.
I mean,
You show up,
We
I'll
got
put you up.
enough homies that we can.
Yeah,
I
we'll
mean, I
find
got-
a spot
We got
for you.
so many rooms, free rooms.
Yeah.
But I just don't half-ass this trip. If I'm telling you guys, if you're trying to come over, wait, it's hard. I'm sorry.
Don't come. Don't come.
Don't come.
I'm gonna come.
Don't come early, but come
If
early.
you're trying to ride to
sound
Born Free,
like Kamala.
Texas, come. If you're trying to come to Born Free, Texas, make plans to be here early enough to enjoy hanging out in Dallas, because we have a full. If you come to our bike night on Tuesday, it's gonna be rad. We have the pre-party for Strokers for Born Free Texas on Wednesday, and then we'll all have our own ride to Born Free on Thursday.
Yeah.
Go back home on Saturday or something, but come enjoy what we have to offer here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your mind will be blown.
Yeah.
Of what we have to offer, not only just the bar scene, but
And if you
food.
need someone to talk to your boss and let you know you're going to go do some motorcycle shit, I do have sign sheets that I send out to friends to let them know, hey, he's coming with me this week.
We can get some doctor's notes saying that
Yeah,
you've
exactly.
got hemorrhoids and you can't come in.
I got COVID, dude.
hemorrhoids.
Right. And honestly, too, if you're making that trip, I would also encourage to go ahead and try to like make a little bit down into hill country, just a little bit, to get some of that riding in, and then come up.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you do it right, you could do the weekend before Born Free, which is run to Terralingua. So that's Friday,
True.
Saturday,
Yeah,
Sunday.
True.
yeah,
And then you could leave, like if you're in California, if you're in SoCal, you could leave Friday. You can make it to El Paso Friday night. And
Or
then
even
you
Thursday
can go.
night. Leave Thursday night and
I'm just say Friday. I'm just trying to give them one day.
Okay,
Right?
all right, yeah.
Because from, let's just say Temecula to El Paso is like 600 miles.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So technically you can make it all the way to Terralingua.
Yeah.
Get to Terralingua, do the fucking actually I think it's more than 600 miles, but anyway, do run to Terralingua, check that out, ride all the rides, and then work your way to Dallas, see some of Texas, and dude, you can make it a week-long trip. And
you actually could make that rad because if you think about it, after Terralingua on the way up, just hit like San Antonio and come
Yeah.
up through hill country, so you make
Austin,
dude,
all
you
that
make it to
shit.
Dallas
And
for
not-
Wednesday,
Yeah.
Not
or for Tuesday
necessarily
for-
like just blast it up through Texas. Just stop, and it's cheap. All down there.
Well, the thing is, like,
you could hang.
if you're
out
coming from the
for a night.
west,
yeah.
go through El Paso, go fuck with Dwayne, do all that, come through and see some of the best parts of why Texas is rad. And then, like I said, like he said, like stay south, like do 190, go to San Antonio, Austin, come to Dallas, and then do the Dallas shit, and then do Born Free. We're talking like a week. We're talking a solid week on the road. You know, maybe you're taking off Monday through Friday of the next week, or whatever, 6 days off.
Right.
Like that's the time to come to Texas, right? Don't come to Texas in fucking March
Oh, yeah,
or
no.
June.
Or August.
yeah, July when it's fucking 107. And
Come to
miserable.
Texas then, where you're going to be in a hoodie most of the time. You're going to be met with some great fucking people, great things to do. Like that's the time to come to Texas.
I heard Dwayne has like 20 available rooms in his house too.
Yeah, he's-
so
he's
like
super rich,
He
dude.
can,
What a nice
He
guy.
can fly bikes
Yeah.
places now.
right.
Yeah.
He can put everyone up.
Yeah.
Hey man, I can
We got-
say I can attest. I've actually stayed at Dwayne's house, and yeah, no, he's got
We,
rooms.
we got the
He's a great
fair
dude.
going on.
Does he have a pool? Because I want to pee in it.
He does have a pool.
He does.
I'm going to pee in that shit one day.
Upper decker.
He has like no garage space though.
When
That, I will say
When
that's the only
Board
thing he
Free is
doesn't have.
happening here, we
fine.
got the
tight.
state fair going on.
Yep.
We got a shit ton of fall white girl shit going on.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Pumpkin spice for all.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, don't be hating, Devin.
I'm not.
I'll take your other toe. Anyway,
we're towing a necklace. Like,
yeah.
If you were a chopper guy still, I would say put the toe on your chopper.
I would love to. Man, we got so much events going on during that time. We got the Cowboys, you got the Rangers, you got everyone back in kind of the swing of stuff, and then it's like
we
Ultimate
might
Bike
have the
Night.
Rangers.
Yeah, we might.
Yeah,
Probably not.
there's a maybe.
But Ultimate Bike Night weather, it's cool, and everyone comes out, and that's when our bike nights go up to like 60 bikes a night, something like that.
Yeah, we probably only have maybe 2 more weeks of like really hot weather.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get into favorable.
We're coming back on our second riding season.
Yeah.
We got the first one, which is spring, and the second is fall.
Yeah, it's been hot, man. It's been pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
I actually have tomorrow off. My boss let me off tomorrow, so it's like
Hey,
wanting to go ride and hang out, but I don't want to drink all day. I want to go ride and do shit.
Yeah.
You know, I
fucking
want to hit
go see Jefferson.
I want to hit Jefferson tomorrow night. Jefferson's been pretty fucking lit lately.
If you don't
It has
know what
been a good
Jefferson
time.
Street is,
Yeah.
it's the low riders cruising up and down Jefferson, and there's a bunch of taco stands that come out,
Which
hang
are
out,
so
and
good.
you get a pack of beer and you just hang out in the corner and no one bothers you as long as you're not acting full.
Yeah,
Just keep it real.
you're basically just like it's a cruise,
Yeah.
but it's lined up down this downtown part of Oak Cliff, Texas, which is a sub. I don't know how the word to say it.
Neighborhood of Dallas.
It's a neighborhood of Dallas, yes. And you know, you have all these lowriders that cruise the streets, a lot of other crazy shit too. But you're sitting there drinking a couple beers, hanging out on the sidewalk, seeing cool cars, and it's a good vibe. Everybody's having fun.
Tacos and elote. Hey, no English, and bring cash.
Yeah, bring cash.
It's true.
So to also kind of talk more a bit. It's my first podcast in a while, so I'm sorry, guys.
Need some more whiskey.
First live and first time.
No,
live.
it's not even live. Just like the garage talk we did the other day was the first time I've done a podcast in like 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks
shit.
or something like that. So I can't talk. My mouth doesn't work. Whatever.
I got those phrases.
We were talking about it before the podcast, but you guys did these for the bagger dudes out there. Like everybody has a wobble on a bagger. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Like you pretty much have a wobble,
Yeah.
right?
Especially if you put a swing arm on.
You guys all decided to do true tracks. Like how legit is it?
So going back to Dwayne, he was, So going back to Dwayne, he was the one that was like, I told him one time, actually I think it was last Sturgis, where I was like, hey, I think I'm getting a little bit of a wobble, and he told me about True Track, and there's a couple other brands too that make a similar device, but basically, and I don't know, maybe he told me in Daytona last year, but I just couldn't get over there to do it.
To be honest, this is the first time I'm hearing it of this brand. When
Is
I
it?
showed up to Daytona. I mean, not
Or
Daytona. Sturgis.
Sturgis?
Y'all,
Yeah.
well, I didn't do it, but y'all did it.
No.
But I never heard of him until then, and I kind of feel stupid now for not.
So well, it makes total. So anyway, he so he's like, oh man, you got to check out this True Track stuff. I was like, okay, I'll do it. And so then my wobble got considerably worse, and especially going to California with loaded down with a tour pack. There were a couple times going down the interstate on a relatively mild curve, and my bike was just whoa like this, so I like lay off the throttle and really like push into the handlebars to get that thing steady. So going into Sturgis, I was like, man, I'm gonna get this, and it was roughly $415.
You got the front and back right?
So I only did the back because they said 75% of the wobble comes from the rear.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna do the rear, and so it was like $420 to get this device put on. And what it does is it bolts to there's a bracket that bolts to the frame that then connects to the transmission. And what that does is, because without that, you have your swing arm, rear tire, swing arm, and transmission, and then the motor that does not connect to the frame. And so you have a ton of things that are connected or that are in a line that aren't connected to the frame. So what this does is it connects the frame then to the transmission. So now you just have rear tire, swing arm, and then connected to the frame, essentially.
Okay.
So you've lost the bushing side to side movement entirely. So now you just have up and down, which is all you really need. And the minute I put that on, and they could put it on like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I went and ripped Spearfish Canyon, or not Spearfish, Needles and Iron Mountain Road. And man, it was locked on. So Matt and I did it right away. And then we got back to the campground, told Blaze, told a handful of other people.
Yeah, they went.
And they all went and did it too.
like
and basically everyone's loving
8 of us.
Yeah, that's a rock solid device. I don't know how that's not designed into the Harley bikes. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
So I knew about True Track just because that's a lot of Dyna guys do it, because that's supposed to help with the alignment of the motor and the transmission.
yeah.
Like, obviously the notorious Dyna wobble, like that's supposed to really help with that. Like I didn't know that it was as big an issue with the baggers.
Yeah, the bagger thing, it's like you get that high speed fucking that wiggle in the back, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You see it on the fucking race bikes when they
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
the bagger racing league and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So, or King of the Baggers, whatever the fuck it is.
It doesn't 100%. I didn't do the front, but it's drastically better.
Yeah.
Drastically better.
I'll
So
have to do it soon.
Move closer in, Trey. No, like move your seat.
you're off the
You're like
camera.
out of the frame.
yeah,
Is this better?
ripping the corners after having that on was night and day difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I can't speak more about. I mean,
So let me ask you this: like, we got more stories to talk about, but on the bikes, it seems like now, like with your bike, the UNC bike, basically, you've had iterations of it to where you've really fine tuned it to where it's now this like perfect thing, right? For
is
you,
pretty much there.
what you're riding,
right.
If you were going to do another road glide, is it incentivized or is it fun to do it again? And just now that you have all the parts figured out, or what I'm getting at is like, is it fun figuring out how to make something good? Or now that you have the sauce, do you have the same desire to just do another bike?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
So there's a balance here that you got to figure out, because there is a piece of and the new baggers are so much different that there are some parts that you wouldn't even consider on the new ones. For example, love the Arlen Ness riser gauge relocation system, but you don't need that anymore on the new ones. Like that's one example. But the one thing I would say is I struggle with the concept of where I see, especially the last 3 years that I've been at events. The last three years I've been at events where I've seen bike builders or companies bring bikes with the exact same parts every year. And you're like, come on. Like, let's get a little bit more creative type of a thing. Like, and then they get butthurt if they don't win a show because, hey, it was basically the exact same bike but a different paint job.
Yeah.
So that piece of it that I'm like, okay, so if I'm going to build another bagger, do I want to do the same similar parts? Especially considering that I know the ones that I like. So I don't know what that answer is today, but I do think that I will, inevitably I will go another bagger route. There are a couple things that I actually still have on the current bagger that I will do differently on the new one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked that question because there is some kind of fun, even though it's fun based on the fact that you're spending money down like rabbit holes of things that are not going to work, right? Things that you're going to have to sell off and try something else. But it's fun, like, all right, this feels good, but man, the bar position's in the wrong spot. And then you get that dialed, but then that exposes maybe something else, like, oh, well, I don't know if I want to do floorboards, maybe I want to do mid controls or something like that. And then you get that dialed, and you start to kind of like move through the bike after you did your initial like purchase of a lot of these different custom parts, and then you finally get it dialed. Like, all right, this is the fucking perfect motorcycle for me now.
Yep. Yeah,
You know?
and there's the amount of parts I've bought 3 different times, to basically make it to the way I want it is so like there's been so many times I've bought something, put it on, rode it for a while. It's like, this isn't great. Tried something different. There's that aspect, and that's all with all that aspect. But there's also a piece where, and this is me personally, where I did buy some things, and I was like, this is like, because I was like first into building a bike. This was the first bike that I built, right? Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things where, and brands don't necessarily matter, but I do like the aspect of having a little bit of a uniqueness to different to my bike. So I bought a few parts that were very high profile, or companies that were more popular, I guess, in a volume stance. And I was like, everyone has that. Like, I want to switch it up to go to something that's still cool, but maybe not as mainstream.
Yeah.
And that's just me. That was just that's. I'm not saying the previous stuff wasn't a good part. They're great parts. It was more of especially when you're like talking in the bike show world, it's almost like what's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're trying to personalize something and it looks like it came off the assembly line with that, like everyone else, it's like kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I think I'm at a point with my bike where I just want to do a freshen up, just kind of change a couple parts up, and then just make it a better rider. I love the bike.
I mean, it's pretty dialed the way it is. I mean,
Yeah.
other than a black paint job, but it's pretty good.
Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. There was some things.
Gotta at least print you some stickers to put your Instagram name on it or something.
Right. Black baggers forever. Black baggers matter. I think I'm just kind of on this past trip some parts. I'm just like, I'm ready to change out.
Well, not talking shit about the parts, but where do you think it is?
So my passenger pegs are hit my derby cover now, and that's just because I went to a dark horse comp and I have a DK Racing, so the whole motor and transmission move a lot more because it's just so rough.
Do you have the stock side covers?
No, I have Steve Chamberlain side covers.
The FXR ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my they just barely kiss it. I'm just kind of digging into it.
So out of curiosity, so one thing, and
I had to change out the clevis, and I'm going to go to a smaller one.
So one thing that I did, and I don't know if this would change anything. Mm-hmm. So the way that this I'm going to call it stock. It's the way the stock angle, I guess, of the passenger pegs when they flip up is back.
Yeah.
If you flip them,
okay,
they go forward.
Right.
And I'm curious.
I don't think that's going to help it with anything.
Wouldn't?
I think it's because it barely just like kisses.
Well,
it.
so the reason why I flipped mine is because when they were back in the stock position, it covers up the paint job. But when you flip them, it goes forward, and then it doesn't.
I think it's just because of how big. Because I have the mini floorboards on the back, and they're too big.
You got the floorboard itself.
Yeah, I don't think I have to go down to the MX pegs.
Yeah.
Got it.
But across the pegs, that's all.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I have to go to a clevis that kind of pushes them out a little bit more. But
what's motor wise? What's you just have that Star Racing cam?
Yeah, a 114.
And it does enough. Yeah.
It's a 30-30.
Yep. Yeah. 30-30 and all the goodies from fueling and SNS.
Yeah.
Thundermax, and she fucking rips, dude.
So other than the pegs, like anything else, it's like you're really like highlighting.
Suspension's great, brakes are great. Seat, I'm probably gonna go to a Lapera because I need.
Do you have stock calipers on yours, or do you have the?
I have stock calipers.
Do you?
Yeah, but that's all I need. I mean, I'm not that big into changing all that up. If I do another bike, it's gonna be something completely different. I'm gonna go to like, I don't know. I would love to do another FXR, but everyday bike. Just a couple of things. I have those flow levers.
Mm-hmm.
The left one is flopping around for no reason.
Shit.
I have no idea why, but I got to figure that out. And then
Toss me another beer when you get a chance.
Yeah, and then I know I have a.
You want one of these or one of those?
Trey, make sure you
And then,
pull your mic closer again.
But then I have a Baja that has a bad gasket, so I have condensation in one. So,
Hell yeah.
and the bike's almost 4 years old. So,
Yeah, well, it's 4 years already. I mean, that's the bike that you got from Tommy when he was at a House of Harley after.
Did you buy that used?
2021, dude,
Fuck,
Well, that's 3 years.
going on 4.
going on 4.
Well, it was in
Well, it'll be
November of
4 it'll be
2020,
4
right?
This November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his bike got stolen when he was still living in downtown Dallas.
Yeah.
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 Assholes.
Well, I bought my bike September of 21. So
Yep.
Dude,
Oh,
who would have
sure.
thought, like, when you reached out to me for a paint job, like, you would have, like,
no shit. I know.
it was crazy. It's
Yeah.
like, I always tell people, like customers end up becoming the closest people to me and whatnot. Obviously, because they're paying me, but, you know. But
Well-
no, it's not that. It's like, it's just wild how, like, when you came around, it was like the right time and you came in at the right way. And then, like, you've been a part of everything we've been doing since.
Well, I think too, what was kind of crazy, and it speaks to your customer service, I guess. So when I was emailing you saying, and I truly do not remember how I first came across your paint jobs. I can't remember this, but somehow I did, and I remember emailing you saying, "Hey, I'm interested in a paint job," and I think we were like exchanging emails a couple times, and then you're like, "Hey, just give me a call." And so I called you, you gave me your number, I called you, and we talked about different types of parts or whatever, and different things.
Because you were doing a 131 and I had, you know, I think
Right.
I was on my second one at that point.
Right. So like
Yeah.
the just chatting about the way to build a bike, and I bought the wrong bike up front, you know, type of thing, and I've switched it over since. But and you even mentioned that, and like, I would have done this. I'm like, I'm kind of already past that point, you know, so I can't really switch it up at this, you know, right now. But just the willingness, almost that consulting aspect of like, this is what I would do, was extremely valuable up front, especially as you're doing your first custom bike and getting all this insight type of thing. So that was helpful for me. So then having that interaction, you know, led to, hey, I want to go to these bike nights and that type of thing. So it was a great experience.
Yeah, I remember, like, because you had a different crew that you were kind of running around with, and we won't go into that, but, like,
Right.
they all came with you for a while, and then they didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. It was their mentality on what was cool is, and I don't mean by a bike perspective, but like what they want from a motorcycle and
Yeah.
personality standpoint didn't align with what T-Bar Tuesday did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you came when we were like at, I would say, height of Reno's at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
That
you
would've
started
been,
coming
yeah,
around.
it would have been roughly October of 21. That's when I started coming around.
Yes, probably height of Deep Bell at that time,
Yeah, yeah.
and it all changed.
Trey? Did you ever get to do the anvil shit at all?
No, I remember passing y'all at the Mill though.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't really get to meet y'all until tail end of 2019, early 2020.
Yeah, that's right when they shut it all down for COVID.
Yep.
We went to Ferris Wheelers. That's where you ended up meeting
That's where I
us.
actually showed up at a bike
Well, we
night.
did have a few bike
But
nights
I was
at
already
Anvil
getting-
after Ferris Wheelers, and then it turned into Reno's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, like, that's kind of like the thing I try to talk about, or I want to promote to people, is that everything takes time. Like, it takes time to figure out your sauce with your bike, how you want to dial it in. And sometimes you need to find the right people to be around, the right scene, the right type of people you want to ride around, because it really does dictate how you end up customizing your bike.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're dead set, I'm a performance dude, I want to do this, and there's nothing else out there like that, then I think you're gonna have a hard time finding the both ends of the spectrum that you need to solidify you to want to be in motorcycling, because you want to have a bike that represents you, that you're proud of, that you want to jump on, but you want to be around people that equally make you feel like you want to go be with them as well.
Yeah. And honestly, what I would say is, like, if you have a limited budget, and you're going to probably disagree with this, but if you have a limited budget the paint job should be last.
Yeah, no. Honestly, you shouldn't have to look. A paint job is so uniquely. It's expensive. It's the most expensive thing you can do to your bike.
And it's not even that. What I'm taking from it is like if you're doing a build to try to get a little bit of clout, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I'm just
I'll
saying
say it that way. I'm trying to get clout.
But if you're trying to show up at shows, win some awards, that type of a thing, no one's going to know what you did to your bike when it was a stock paint job. So like you can like make all your suspension, all your motor changes, all your parts changes during that time frame. Like let's say it takes you 2 years to build up the bike in the sense of the parts wise, performance wise that you want it. No one will like really truly recognize it at that point as part being like your close people will, but the minute you put a paint job on it, that's when it matters.
That's when the scrutiny starts.
Fair,
Well, okay,
but then like if you immediately do a paint job and then start making your updates, like it's your old news after a year roughly, so like it kind of like extends your period of relevancy.
In light of like this, FX DLS Brooklyn,
Yeah.
we did a podcast together in Sturgis, but he also did a piece on me, if you will, and
That was pretty rad.
it was nice to be. It felt pretty. I don't know what the right word is to say. It's like it's humbling, and it's also very appreciative for someone to see you the way that you feel like you're trying to be, even if I'm not that all the time.
Yeah.
The way he talked about me is literally what I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I'm not that all the time.
Yeah.
He did leave off arrogant and dickhead. He did leave those off.
I did appreciate
fucking
his video of
No, it was
showing the Dallas side in our scene. Because I do personally feel like our scene is different from everyone else's.
Yes.
As in closeness and
I would agree with that.
hospitality.
We have a couple of things that make it to where it can be. It's not to say that like California couldn't, but California has too much, right? Like
Right.
we have the right amount of people to where we don't have to deal with so many opposing things. Like we don't have to worry about another bike night popping up on the other side of town with another group of people because they don't like our spot. I mean, we dealt with that. That was literally the history of growing this thing. But in California, like even though mileage wise, it doesn't seem like you drive 40 miles to work. We actually, every one of us here ride roughly 30 miles one way to bike night, right?
And
So-
I would say it's worse because the Dallas traffic, like
You have it worse than we do on the south side.
right? Yeah, I mean Dallas traffic,
South
30 miles can take an hour and 15
Yeah,
minutes.
like a gang sign, south
Yeah,
side.
south
Yeah.
side.
There we go. But the thing is, like, there's a lot of places that have like good people, but you have to find. There's a lot of like when I travel this country, I'm talking with people, and a lot of people have talked about how they love how our scene appears to them,
Yeah.
and part of me wants to be like, yeah, it's because we are this. Like, it's not that we are. Texas has good people, 100%.
Yeah.
We are good people, but we also have. It's like the planets align. We have enough people to where it's not overpowering, and it's not like there's 100 factions of us. We have enough people where we all just like get together, and it's not about it. It's not about how many chiefs or Indians. It's just like, look, sometimes you're a chief and I'm the Indian. Sometimes you're a chief and I'm Indian. Sometimes vice versa. It's like it's for the greater good of like creating a great scene for us all to enjoy motorcycling in. You know what I mean?
I will say that's what I love about our bike night is there's no doubt that your influence has drawn a lot of people into it, but you don't ever get that feeling that anyone's a true leader. I mean,
It's all even playing field when
Yeah.
you show up, right?
yeah,
Either you could lean into it and kind of get your balls busted by everyone, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you don't show up with a Simpson helmet or, something like that. We're like, oh, hey, where'd you get that helmet, you nerd? And
Yeah.
you're like, oh.
Yeah, we're gonna bust balls, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's not
But,
it's not.
but
They're
understand that no one's more important than anyone else, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter just because I have a black bike and y'all have painted bikes. No one's better than anyone. You
Oh, we
show
talk
up-
shit about you in the bathroom.
Yeah, I bet y'all do.
We ride it on the
Jerking each
shitter
other
stall.
off.
I'm in the shitter stall. Jake's in
Yeah.
the picture like, dude, Trey's just black bike is pissing me off. Like,
Sucks. That bike sucks, dude. Right? No, it really becomes less about the bikes and it's become more about conversations and hanging out and talking to each other.
Well, and what I would say too, I think if you ask some of our newer guys, you know, Matt Anthony, some of those other guys, even their first times there, how many people like want to know their story right away and like get to know them and that type of thing. Like,
That's all I ask.
You like as a new person, even that new chick, I wasn't there the first night she was there, but apparently like just it was a very, she showed up and just everyone was extremely welcoming to her and that's cool as shit.
it was nice to have a chick show to bike night who rides, like rides,
Right.
and like when we went and did that little loop and hit the streets, I mean, she was fucking blocking traffic for us to get over and shit. Like she, it wasn't like, oh, we got a chick with us. Let's
slow it down
Our
and-
riding
Yeah.
for that. No, it was
that
like,
was cool.
no, she was like taking the lead on some of that. I was like, damn, okay, all right, this is unique. Yeah.
But it just feels cool to see. And I mean, honestly, man, like we need some women points. God damn, like it'd be nice to have like more like people like I just want people to come to our bike night and whatever they have to bring to the table is awesome, but I just want them to be humble enough to sit here and soak up what we created long enough before they like, oh well, do you guys ride anywhere? Like, yeah, we actually ride all over the country, but on every Tuesday, I don't want to go ride with you motherfuckers.
You
Like,
gotta understand that, like sometimes, like even me right now,
And her
I
name's
don't wanna-
Katie, by the way, not
Yeah.
that chick, but
Like right now, I don't want to ride the bike. Like I just kind of want.
It's just too hot.
Chill. Yeah, I'm kind of done.
I'm not
with
being
it.
that bitch, but like it does drag. It just sucks everything out of you.
Yeah.
But I will fucking ride the shit out of the bike, and then I don't know. I just go through my phases. So it's just like, hey, that's kind of.
that's the good thing about bike. That's why
chill out for a minute.
That's why it's like it's a weekly bike night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's there for it's therapy. It's fucking like it's a place to have the opportunity to like break up your week. Like if you really think about it, when you go to work on Monday, like Monday, for certain people it's like the worst day of the week, right? All Monday, there's so much more. But when you have a bike night on Tuesday to think about, all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, well tomorrow's Tuesday.
Yep.
Tomorrow
Bike
feels
night.
like today feels like Thursday. Thursday feels great.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tuesday's good because you can still recap what happened last weekend, but then you also have the situation where you can start planning for the coming weekend.
Sometimes this Tuesday can feel like a Saturday. All right?
Oh yeah, dude.
That's
If
true.
you're not ready for that,
Right.
Because that's what I tell a lot of new people. I'm like, hey man, sometimes, well, the number one question I get asked on the page is, how long does this last? Sometimes, hey, it ends up 10, sometimes 12.
Every time it's past 12, it's not good.
Well, I will say,
And then when it goes past 12, it's probably going to be 5 a.m. And you're like, oh, dude, I got to go to work. You're like,
I
you
will
got it, buddy.
I will say, and I'm I don't support, or I'm the one that always like is leaving by 10, but it's been a while since we've stayed out late.
Well,
And
to
I
be
think
fair,
that's
like
the weather. I think it's
the weather, but also like when Cody Walker had the bar down the street,
Oh, that was easy.
it was easy.
So easy.
And that's what I was
yeah.
talking about, the change up Deep Ellum too.
Yeah.
There is, I hate to say it, but there is nowhere for us to go from our bar, which they do take good care of us, but into more Deep
Well,
Ellum, and then they appreciate us. But some of these new bars, you get a beer like, hey, can I get a Bud Light? And then like, hey, that's $12. And you're like, whoa, what the shit just happened? Like,
Well,
I'm not trying to
as
do that.
great as Cold Beer Company is, like you generally don't want to stay in the same spot for 6 hours, like over 6 hours.
Right,
so it's
right.
like, okay, I'm getting there at 7, just hang out there for 4 hours, and that's like, okay, let's try something different.
Right.
So like,
I do get that. And some of us do walk over to Double Wide, but Double Wide is also expensive. It's just hard to go somewhere new now, and they're all bottle service bars, clubs.
Yeah.
Clubs. They're not really bars anymore. The green room's gone. Obviously Cody Walker's bars are gone.
But he's got a new bar he's got going on that
apparently
I
he's
think it
got-
might be good.
yeah,
It's not far away.
Yeah,
It's off Ross.
word is that there's a new one coming out here that it's gonna. It's not gonna necessarily like focus on motorcycles,
Right,
but
right,
like it's
right.
gonna be motorcycle friendly.
But yeah,
But Cody will be
Just
running
someone-
it, so we'll have a connection there.
yeah. When I don't know, Deep Element's in a
Look,
weird
like
phase right
the,
now.
the point of why, like
But don't get me wrong. If you do come to Dallas, you're still gonna get treated.
dude, we
right.
come to anybody comes to Dallas, like especially for a week like Born Free Week,
You're gonna get
I mean,
the whole nine.
you're gonna like we're fucking we're not. I mean, we have so many areas, whether it's Bishop
Yeah.
Arts or Greenville. I mean, me and my wife was partying on Greenville last night. You know what I'm saying? What a fucking message, y'all. But
Greenville's
Thanks.
awesome.
Appreciate it.
well, like her one of her
Hey,
really good clients runs the bar at fucking Truck Yard.
yeah.
So she has that, but then we
Yeah.
have the bike connection through Truck Yard now.
Right.
Did you
So-
know Chewy's is going to Desert
Yes.
Racer?
Yes.
Wait,
So
what?
upset. Chewy's is taking over Desert Racer.
Really?
They're
The
moving
Mexican
off of Knox.
restaurant?
Yes,
They're shutting down the
moving off of Knox and
Chewy's
Henderson.
off of Knox Henderson.
Yeah.
Which had
And
the
then-
worst parking in the world. But I like
It
that
does.
spot.
It does. But that Desert Racer for Chewy's,
Yeah.
dude.
So wait,
So
so
much
so is
better.
Desert Razor becoming Chewy's?
No,
Desert
Racer
Racer
shut down.
closed.
Yeah.
It's been closed.
Yeah.
Has it?
I don't know. Maybe
It has
month or
been a
so.
while. It's been a while.
Yeah, 3 months, maybe. I don't know.
A year, maybe?
But anyway,
No, it hasn't been a year for sure.
that's gonna be such a good spot to go like
Yeah.
foot traffic and hanging out.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we have a lot of good things going. Like like Trey and the Oklahomies are putting together they're trying to narrow down the dates for like a mixer rager in like a, what is it? Like
It's,
Choctaw?
Choctaw, the border run, pretty much for us. It would be a come hang out. They got a Las Vegas style pool resort, right? And then just go gamble and hang out. It's kind of almost like I would say probably a summer edition of the Polar Ride.
Okay. A summer edition of the Polar Ride.
Yeah, right. And
Which we vaguely talked about last year, but just
The
never
Catalina
like,
cool
it
down.
just never like took phase. But yeah, this is a good way
yeah,
to do it.
if the 28th and 29th work out, they messaged me last night, but I'm just kind of make sure everyone wants to do this. So we
Yeah, as long as it's not like 20 people from Texas and 3 people from
yeah.
Oklahoma.
Well, it sounds like they're all.
I'm
down.
taling that shit, guys.
Yeah, and I'm down for it too.
And
I
Arkansas
just want to
fucking
make sure
show
it's
up.
it's a good event for everyone.
Who?
And
Yeah, right.
because even Nikki, my old lady, she wants to go and she just wants to go check out the hotels. And,
The last time when we did the Polar Ride in Oklahoma City, we all went to Windstar. What is that? It's not Choctaw. It's Windstar.
Yeah,
right?
Windstar's on 35.
Windstar. So we are going to Windstar or Choctaw?
I think Choctaw's.
Isn't Choctaw and like?
Choctaw's
It's on
on
75.
It's the one on the way to K River.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's the one you are trying to do.
I think
Okay.
so, yeah.
So we went to Windstar and we ended up hanging out with this racist lady, who, this is like coming off of like the Conor McGregor, like height of the way he would like, who's this fucking guy like that?
is this guy?
It's all of a sudden this like racist chick, old lady, like 60s, right?
Yeah.
But she's got money, and she apparently was telling us that she had I mean, we ended up hanging out with her because she was just like funny and listening to her, and she was racist as fuck, and it was like funny. It's funny to watch, right?
Right.
But she kept
Entertainment.
saying she'd talk normally like we do, and then she'd be like, but these fucking, like she would like get this like Irish
Boston
accent when she said fucking, and I'm like, you don't do that normally, do you? She's like, I'm Irish. I'm like, since when? Like nothing else you do is Irish, but when
Right.
you say fucking, you do it with an Irish accent. Like, what? It was like one of these. The craziest thing about that night is like, we met this old lady. I mean, she's older. She's like, nobody's trying to finger this chick, right? You know what I'm saying? And
Trey wasn't there though.
or sit down, Steve.
Hold on. Hold on.
But so it was just kind of a funny thing. It's like, all right, well, in the night, like, listen to this chick rant on about people. We ended up going to IHOP because they have one inside the casino there. And then I left my wallet fell out of my fucking pocket into the seat, and some couple there from like Branson, Missouri found it. And they like used my name to they found it through Facebook. They found like I'm fucking drunk, passed out in my hotel room at this point.
Yeah.
But they went through all the trouble to go through everybody that I know to find me.
Really?
To get me my wallet back, which was
That's incredible.
yeah. I didn't tip them.
Damn.
I mean,
I feel like I should have. And when all the work they did, and I met them at the hotel casino afterwards, I'm like, thank you. And I'm just like,
Not tip him, but
this is
make it
awkward.
drink.
You know, like
Jace, that's where you got to at least tell him thanks.
But at the same time,
I'd give you some cash, but I lost it all at the craps table. Appreciate it. Thanks. I'm out of here.
Well, they probably already searched the wallet to find out what.
Yeah. You already got robbed.
well, I didn't know how to fucking like,
No.
what do you do there?
I mean,
Ricky
remember
Bobby,
when
I don't know what
lost-
to do with my hands right now.
Remember I lost my phone in fucking
Yeah,
Floribama? Dude, that was wild how I got that fucking phone back.
Dude, you went on a fucking reconnaissance mission to
Dude.
get that back.
And that guy, when I knocked on his door and he opened it up, I was like, hey, I think you have my phone. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I traced my phone back to you. And he's like, how in the fuck did you find me?
Oh, what a dick. So he was going to like actually like keep your phone.
No, it wasn't intentional.
It was not intentional, but like when this, so it was a taxi driver. So basically what
Florida Bama
happened.
fucks, dude.
What?
Florida Bama fucks.
Dude, that was a wild time. So we were partying hard at Floribama, and
Or hardly partying, depending on how you want to look at it.
yeah, yeah, semantics. So I have zero recollection of coming back to the room, and the next morning I wake up and we're getting ready to take off because the whole group's leaving at one time. I'm like, fuck, I do not know where my phone's at, and I'm like freaking out at this point.
We had to use Josh
So
Doc's phone because
Well,
he had like shared locations. with
I had shared
me. I
locations
gave
with
you
Doc.
my phone.
Yeah. And so I called him on your phone. I'm like, dude, look up my location on your phone. And literally so Jace gave me his phone and I'm riding my bike. So I was like in such a panic moment that I didn't even throw on my helmet. So I'm like holding Jace's phone and I'm like talking to Josh, riding down freaking whatever the main drag is there. And he's like directing me where to go to where my phone's at. And I finally get to this like neighborhood and I pull I pull up to the driveway and I'm like, hey, I think you have my phone. And he's like, how did you find me? I'm like, oh, I tracked it. So he opens up his cab and sure enough, there's like my phone's like right in the center console. So I must have like, for some reason, I got a cab and I must have like just like set my phone in this center console. Anyway, so then on the way home, I'm like thinking to myself, so at this point I'm in Alabama. And on the way home, I'm thinking to myself like, and I'm about to go back into Florida. Or no, it's the other way around. Florida does not have a helmet law, right? No, they don't.
They don't know.
So it's in Alabama that does, because on the way after I got my phone on the way home, I'm like, I have no idea if there's like even a helmet law here. So like as I'm riding, I'm like doing a quick Google search, and there is one. I'm like, fuck. All right. So
You're
then
so drunk from the night before.
yeah. So then do you remember that like there's like the little bridge that you kind of cross
big
over?
one.
So I do that, and then where I'm supposed to go left, I see a cop over there. So I immediately just take a right and like Google like take over from there because I'm like I'm not going. So I made it back without a helmet, obviously, but that was a shit show of an experience.
That was, if Craig is telling the truth, that this is last year.
You're not. You're not, Craig.
If this is the last year of the Down South camp out, I got to figure out how to go.
I'd agree with that.
I don't want to go. Not because of Craig, not because of the camp out. I don't want to go because I'm not ready for another bike trip. But
into Florida.
if it is the last
Florida,
one,
dude.
I want to be able to say that I went to Craig's last camp out because he didn't come to mine.
Hey, how about
Damn,
this,
Craig.
though? How about we go to Floribama and then tell Craig to fuck off?
No, how about we do? This is a foolproof plan. We're gonna go to Floribama with full intentions of doing whatever fate says we should do.
Fair. Yeah.
We wake up the next morning
Yeah.
and we flip a coin, if the coin says we go to Florida or we go to fucking the down south camp out, we do it. If not, we go to fucking New Orleans. We get fucking we rage, and then we go home the next day.
I like it.
I'm in.
Craig better get his karma points up.
Right.
Right.
Hey, drive that truck faster, brother.
Figure out how to put a weighted quarter in our pocket.
yeah.
If it is his last camp out, I will find a way to do it because, look, I truly enjoy. I've had like my life in the last fucking 7 years finding T-bars. To be completely honest with you, these fucking handlebars led me to so many rad people and rad experiences. The down south camp out is a great time. It's a great chance to meet people. There's a lot of fucking Florida people that just now fucking started drinking the Kool-Aid and they're like, we have a scene.
Yeah.
We have a this.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you know,
whatever, nerd.
even Craig recognized that some of the guys are dicked up, but I love Craig, and I hope I get to go this year. Fuck. I think we should be able to go. I hope.
October, like from now till
Dude, it's
his camp out is so
dude,
stacked.
At the end of September, I think there's an event every fucking week.
So you have
No. We
House
have-
of Harley, or not House of Harley, Cowboy Harley.
Yes.
And
we have Coda,
and Coda. So you have
Burnouts, the event that we're trying to do with Oklahoma.
but it's also my birthday weekend, so I don't know if I'm
I think
gonna.
you should fucking go, Jace. and
I
let's
feel like
celebrate
I
you.
feel like every 2 years, so every even number of my birthday, I need to
What
do
are you,
something.
45, 46?
Calm
I'm
down.
just-
Calm the fuck down.
41,
2.
42. Okay. We do it at a casino. We have a whole
I
blowout.
don't even gamble, dude.
Besides the gambling, right? We have a whole blowout. They have a spa there too. So there you
I
go.
want to have a birthday at Chili's.
I do like Chili's. Which Chili's? The Waxahachie or the?
I might go to Middle Upton because it's newer.
It's pretty
pretty
lit there.
nice.
That's
I
my
do
wife's
like it.
hangout.
How
She-
dope would it be
she
to just
knows
like
everyone
shut
there.
down at Chili's for a birthday party?
Dude, the one in
They
Midlothian
seem
is
like they
always
would
fucking
let
busy.
us. Yeah.
I'm telling you, my wife has
Let-
the in. She knows like all the
I
bartenders.
think they would
Let-
let us. Yeah. Yeah.
Just
I think
show
they
the
would
fuck
let us.
up and be like,
Yeah.
hey, yo.
Yeah, we're not we're not getting permission.
Hey, do
he
you
wants
know
to
there's
be fucking
bikes?
punk rock.
Hey, bikes show up there. That's like the meeting spot for like
Really?
guys that ride. Yeah. No,
Well,
you
that-
fucking city asshole.
Well, that's probably because they shut down the Beef O'Brady. That used to be the motorcycle
Well,
hangout.
no,
for Brady anymore. They used to actually have bike
Beef
nights
O'Brady's
at-
closed, and then Jalapeno Lemon Pepper's now there.
which is
Fuck
terrible.
that is, yeah.
Hey,
Dude, I was telling my wife today, we went and did some hanging out and shopping and shit. And I was like, you know, as soon as where we live, when the traffic gets as bad as it is here, we'll finally have all the shit on our side of town that we want.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was because we had to go to Arlington today to go shopping and you know, get some fucking, you know, food and shit like that. But it's like as
What
soon
kind
as
of? Oh,
we went to Chewy's today.
yeah. We went to Chewy's and Yeti.
Went to Chewy's and went to Vans.
So you were at the Yeti store. You didn't want to go to the Our House restaurant across the street?
No.
Restoration
Our
Hardware?
House.
No, it's restoration. So the high
I know
end,
what
like
you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
the like super high end
Yeah,
restaurant or
yeah.
furniture store.
Yeah,
they like
because
put a
my girlfriend
restaurant.
was like, "Look at that." She was like, "Look at that! I'll do a furniture." I was like, "That's probably like $5,000."
No,
we're
it's like-
not.
it's like-
we're not doing that.
Dude, $10,000 love
yeah,
seats.
I was like, "We ain't doing that." I was like,
So last year,
Time out.
like when we got back from Born Free, Texas last year, I just found out that I had good credit and I financed a couch, but it was like a year, so I have to pay it off in a
Nebraska
year.
furniture, bro.
yeah.
And so
Nebraska furniture.
I still owe like
shit.
$1,500. I got to pay it off by next month or by fucking October. And I'm like, God damn, it is a nice couch, man. I've enjoyed it.
You better let those dogs out.
Is that why you're getting all the
I
helmet
mean,
orders
dogs.
lined
I
up?
mean, your toes.
That and yeah, I don't know.
Nebraska furniture is 2 years. Just so you know.
Fuck.
Happy birthday. Get you a card because that's what I have.
I have a card, yeah.
Do Nebraska furniture? You have a Nebraska furniture?
No, I have
card?
this card. I have it.
No,
I have
no.
I have a credit card through. It's Synchrony, whatever the fuck.
Synchrony.
Anyway,
Synchrony.
get you a
But
Nebraska
it's like
furniture card.
it's a lot of different brands, and so I have a card that I use for camera stuff. So it's like through Adorama Camera
Yeah.
Company.
Yeah.
So like the newest camera that I have, I mean it's fucking retarded expensive, but I financed it. Like I'm just like
The best card I ever gotten is Nebraska furniture.
for real.
Yeah, because every time I order everything or furniture, free delivery and free setup.
How many times do you buy furniture though? Because I have
well,
Ashley Furniture and
so we're-
Mattress Firm, and
so
I
we're
literally
looking
don't
at
plan to buy
probably
another
buying a house
mattress
pretty
for another
soon.
10 years.
quite a bit. I've had everything I bought furniture wise and appliance wise comes from there.
Trey, when he moves, he treats this furniture like it's disposable. Just fuck it, just buy a new one.
He's Gucci.
I
you know,
do. I do sell everything and then I buy just everything new.
Well,
He's like, I don't move shit. Fuck that.
so I do have I have
fuck
like
that.
3
I
credit
hate
cards,
moving, dude.
and one's
Hate
through Adorama, which I use all the time. I have the Ashley Furniture, which is
Nebraska is where I'm telling you.
we get it.
shit.
But then like I have a Mattress Firm. It's like I did the mattress a couple years ago, paid it off, and it's like I don't fucking ever want to have to buy a mattress again in the foreseeable future. You know, like the one I had before that, I bought it fucking Big Lots, and there's a lot of things happening on that mattress. There's a lot of history on that thing.
It remembers.
But it's like, I mean, like when you get to a point where like, we can't talk about that. When the girls don't want to get on your mattress because like, who's been on here? I'm like, everybody, dude. Me, my buddy. We've all been on here. This is a mattress. It's here to provide a service.
Somebody in the chat mentioned the Thunder Max Open Party in September. Anyone going to that?
What days in September?
I think it's the same weekend as Rennie's Camp Out and Coda.
See,
I don't
that's
think
the-
Rennie's
that's the
doing
big
the
thing.
event. I think me and Rennie were talking it out. I think he's on a. I don't want to overstep it, but I think he's looking at. I mean, there's so much shit going on because the same
There's
weekend
a
of
lot of
Rennie's
shit.
event is also the Coda thing, which
Yeah.
we all went to last year. Was hot as fuck.
Yeah.
Did we get a hot tub that night?
Yeah, I had a house.
Why?
I had a whole house. Because fuck you, that's why.
All right. Well,
But
Are
it
you
does,
guys, are you guys going to King of the
I
Baggers?
love that house.
well, so it does
Loved it.
appear that the weather should be more favorable,
Yeah.
but
It was, so
Never
last
know.
year, that wasn't.
no, it was second weekend of so it's the
September?
same weekend. It's just that the pattern of the weather so far is better than last
Did you
year.
stay at the
I
house
would
with us?
rather.
No, I had a hotel.
I would rather.
Dude, that was fucking.
I would rather
sick-ass house.
Rennie take whatever event he's doing at the river and put that the weekend of my birthday, and us go to the river on the birthday, 29th, whatever.
You listen, Rennie.
And
D man.
the,
James, too.
dude, it's just so much going on. It
It literally is.
But
from-
we could party in November. Why the fuck is anybody planning anything for November? Do you want to do? Do you think I like fucking turkey? I don't
actually-
like turkey. I want to go to
love
fucking
turkey.
party.
Well,
I love
in
smoke
November,
turkey.
weather here is great. By the way,
Yes.
the whole why don't we call the run to the border like something along the lines of Red River rivalry?
We could do. I mean, we could fucking.
Like the
we could
football
get.
thing?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we here. Well, we could probably get trademarked for that shit.
Oh,
that
club style games for fucking.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
probably would, but still.
yeah, because the Oklahoma and Texas.
Bro, you
game
just call it like
is
the Red
too
River
big.
Reunion or something.
The Red River Run.
Yeah.
RRR. Triple R.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at is literally here in the next couple weeks, there's a fucking event
Yeah.
every fucking weekend.
And I feel bad.
Till the end of November.
And I feel bad because I want to go to the Thunder Max open house. Like, I want to go support that. But the problem is I already had plans with
I've been
friends
invited
to go to the
to-
King of the Baggers.
Yeah, I've
and
been
we already have a
invited
house
to
booked.
the King of the Baggers, Rennie's Camp Out. Obviously, if we're trying to make this run to the border happen, that's in the smack dab in the middle of everything. We got burnouts.
Yeah.
We got Born Free.
Yeah.
And
Run
then-
to Terlingua and
and
then
then,
fucking Born Free.
Lone Star Rally is Halloween weekend.
You talking Galveston?
Yes.
Lone Star? Yeah.
Yes.
Going to that too.
So I'm not fucking joking.
Too.
Like after this next couple of weeks, we have an event every fucking week.
Fuck.
Yeah.
The white ones. The
There's
gringos.
more. Are there not more down there? So it's kind of it. We're at this point, and then we have the down south that's happening, and then we have Tennessee Mountain Bike Week happening. So we're kind of like at a point where you're picking and choosing which one
Is that
to
the
go.
Smoky? Is that the Smoky Mountain?
Yeah, Smoky Mountain.
Smoky
sorry.
Mountain Rally.
So
Correction.
I've
I've been invited to that one to stay at a house up there, and I'm like, I do, but I do have an event before and after,
Yeah.
and after that, and
And
after
it's
that.
it's
like,
rough because
fuck,
you want to
dude.
go, especially like when homies are inviting you. You want to go and support, but it's like,
Yeah.
man,
it's really tough.
Fuck, I
when
gotta pick and choose
When a
my-
homie's
my-
like, hey man, I got a house, I'm inviting you. You're like, fuck,
Yeah.
dude.
And so not to entirely pivot off of this, but I do want to make sure that we give credit where credit's due to Winton and Scott.
Oh, yeah.
with their party and what they do for everyone in the industry, or for
Yeah.
for
The scene, yeah.
the scene in general. The hospitality that they provide at their house in Sturgis is amazing, and if you get the opportunity to go to that, they are the nicest people. They're the atypical stereotype of what people with money would come, what you would expect. They are nice, they are generous, they are asking you, what can I get you? And
It even goes beyond them. Even the wise were like, hey, I remember you're Trey, and I'm like, I'm a fucking nobody
Yeah.
around here,
Right.
Like that's crazy too.
so I
Or
want to
even
make
their
sure that
spouses, thank
they
you.
understand that it's incredibly appreciated, because
Well, the
it's-
good thing about that event is the networking that can take place there.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I mean,
the doors that open.
Let's be
for sure.
fair. Like last year, it was raining. It was a shitty weather.
Yeah.
It was when I think about the party we had in that garage with the music playing, it was kind of misty, rainy outside. I think about that scene on Matrix when they're like, people are just jumping up and doing the dolphin and shit, and there's like sweat and
Yeah.
fucking.
Last year was pretty
It's pretty crazy.
wild.
But you know what's crazy about that though too is like, so like, let's say we didn't have that house that was right there. How much of that would have happened?
Yeah.
Probably none.
Yeah, I mean,
so
we're
it probably would have been
literally down the
an
street.
entirely like bust of a party. I mean, I'm saying like
Not
we made
bust,
it.
but yeah, just the rain
yeah.
definitely put people
It
away.
definitely, like-
But this year was like great. I mean, like we were hanging out with, the owner from Corbin Seats. He was meeting
awesome.
him, talking to him, and
I got to talk to Oliver Cutrate.
Oliver from Cut Rate. Like,
Yeah.
I made a point to invite a lot of people that aren't, maybe. Like like I said, Oliver's one of my favorite builders, and I want these guys who love motorcycles and love custom motorcycles to meet a man like this.
Yeah.
They can build some badass shit. Hey, look, I'm just here like this. I want to help make this garden grow, like
Yeah.
whatever happens, right?
Yeah.
And it was just like cool seeing them, seeing Mikey from fucking Bare Knuckle there. Justin from FXR Division.
Yeah.
I want to say, did Papa Juan make it out?
He did.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
sure did.
I was drunk.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Papa Juan was there.
Yeah.
When Hans,
I ran into Papa Juan so many times during this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Or that week, and it was awesome.
Yes.
I,
I
love talking to that dude.
yeah,
Especially
he's such a great guy.
since he's a flight medic,
Mm-hmm.
pilot, and then what
He's
I
a
do,
good dude, man.
we have common ground.
I've got to stay at his house and know
What a
him on a
great dude.
personal level.
What a
and
great
he's definitely
California
an
dude.
amazing man.
Yeah, love that.
It's really good. That event or that party, that hangout is just full of like good opportunity for people to connect and meet each other. And this year was awesome because of all like what we just mentioned. But what was crazy is like I spent a lot of time with FXR Hans on my trip.
Hans is another one.
And when Hans came out and
Yeah.
he came to the house, he brought his old friend Tiny there, who is not small. It's
No.
a fucking oxymoron.
Yeah.
When Hans is sitting there and we're talking and Scott's getting to know him and whatnot, and then come to find out Hans was an Olympic at some level
or something.
skier.
Yeah.
And then so was one of the guys that stays in the house that helps put the house together, Bloom. And they had a connection. And then apparently the last name Bloom for Matt Darton was like, didn't I, like,
Did
is
you have
your
a son or nephew that played football?
football? And
Yeah.
I like played against them in college. And
For
so it was
Colorado,
like,
and yeah.
it was a crazy thing where you have these people start to connect to each other on other levels outside of just motorcycling. But that's what motorcycling does, right?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, the crazy thing was like our bike night when Matt Darton is showing up, and then
Van
UFC
Buren.
Matt
Yeah.
is there. And it's like, oh shit, we used to work together at a fucking hotel in goddamn
San Diego.
and now we're here. You know, and it's like
They literally didn't know each other. Well, they knew each other, but they did not know each other. Lived in Dallas, and they showed up at bike night, unknowing, and like, wait a minute, what? You're here?
Yeah,
Like that's wild.
yeah.
We need to get other Matt on T-bars.
What's that?
He saw an apes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could.
I know. We need to get him out of T-bars for sure.
Is that the Matt that came to the taco?
Both Matts came, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
What? Yeah, I know.
Matt
Matt Darton.
Darton did not make it to here.
No, he
Oh,
didn't.
he did.
Van
I know.
Buren
I know
did.
that is that's so Matt. That's skinny Matt.
Big
That's-
skinny.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, they're both
Compared to Matt Darton, he's skinny
Yeah.
Matt.
well, right. They're
UFC Matt.
UFC Matt.
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that he was an MMA guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I really have to-
he was one, or he lost the final in the Ultimate Fighter Challenge.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like he was
It's a good dude.
Oh, that's cool.
up there.
I just always see him over there flexing Rolexes with you.
Yeah. That's his side gig now. Is
Yeah,
he
he's the
sells
watch guy.
Rolexes.
That's cool.
I want to get a Rolex.
You should.
I don't know why though.
Apple Watch, bitch.
Not fuck Apple Watch.
I don't want a Rolex. I don't even want to wear it. I just want to own one.
So
like
you gotta, dude. Once you own it, you're gonna wear it.
I don't know. I don't even know if I want to say that. Like, I feel like I want to say that. Like, knowing you and like what you said about a Rolex watch, what it means to you, it needs to mean that to me before I can wear one.
Well, so here's
I can't just have one. Just say I have a Rolex.
Well, here's the wild thing. When I got mine was a celebration of getting my master's degree. That was what I bought mine for. And I was never a super big watch guy. What was interesting about it, though, is the minute I got mine, and it extends to this day, is the amount of dudes that are like...
it's a dude getter.
It's a dude getter. It's like that Instagram audio thing. They're like, oh, I spent all this money and do all this thing like just to get a bunch of attention from dudes. It might be the gayest thing I own.
Yeah.
Like there's never been one single female that's ever been like, oh, nice watch. It's all been dudes. Yeah. So it's absolutely that aspect.
I'm into like getting dudes. I mean, everything I do is about getting dudes, man. So it's
This
like,
bike doesn't get chicks. It's all about the dudes.
Yeah.
yeah, it's dude getters, man.
Yeah.
Chicks don't care about bikes. Well, okay, they do. They just care about
The ones that care about bikes,
It's
just like,
a bike. It's
That's
it's
that
a
chick with the
motorcycle.
vibrator in the
It's
fucking
not
bathroom.
Just, they don't give a shit if it's a Honda or a Harley.
Listening to fucking like Tucker
CNN.
Carlson or some
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Fuck.
Well, I think that like to your point, like listening to your stories about like your watch and like to signify something like in NBA, things like that you have done. And there's guys like Big Trouble has, you know,
3 or 4 of them.
a couple of them, and it's like
It's big trouble so much.
it's one of those things where like I get it, like you for a guy like Big Trouble, I think it's like we weren't supposed to have these, so it feels cool to have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
You know, we're not celebrating our, you know, master's degree. We're like, hey, look, we've been doing some crackhead shit for a long time, and all of a sudden now we're rich.
Right. Right.
Bro, like, let's celebrate. What do you want to do? I don't know. Let's get watches.
Well, here's the funny thing about like to that point. You know, a lot of people I feel like that are in the aspect of, you know, we've never expected to have money, and you come into it, you buy fucking cars
Yeah.
that depreciate so fucking much. I bought this watch, and it's almost doubled in value. So it's like,
Fuck these bikes, Jace. Let's buy some watches.
Dude.
well, I'm not saying bikes necessarily, but like there are the things that like you value when you do come across money is incredible, because like the people that sit there and turn that spend into depreciating assets is fucking stupid.
It tends to be something that they're doing for the entertainment of other people, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, then they obviously like there's so many things, like let's say Louis Vuitton for example, their target market is not the ultra rich. Their target market is the people that are not rich that try to make themselves look rich.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's I mean, it's certainly like some of the ultra rich will still buy some of their stuff, but the people that really truly can't afford it are the ones that they're going after.
Yeah, the people that'll go finance a bag.
Yeah, what was
Yeah.
that?
Rather than
what was
actually,
the brand that
Yeah.
just got exposed where they were like, yeah, it's $1,500 for a bag, but they just found out it costs like $13 to make it. What was that brand? It was some like
All of them?
influencer.
Probably all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay,
I'm not
so
into it.
like
I mean, probably Yeti's the same
the
way.
first
I do,
the first pair of Ray-Bans I bought, right, which they're fucking expensive sunglasses.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not Pradas or
You
whatever.
can get a good set though for $200.
Yeah.
That's
But to me, it's like I'm coming off of wearing, fucking Vans glasses and
Right.
goddamn shit that's sub $50.
right.
And so the down south camp out that we were talking about, where myself, Craig, Big Trouble, Steve, we ended up riding down to Key West. I bought my first pair of Ray-Bans down there, and I still have them.
Yep.
And to me, it's like I took them on this trip. It's like, man, I bought these glasses in Key West, and I'm sitting in Glacier wearing them. To me, I'm a very sentimental person. Like to
Yeah.
objects have to have a sentimental value to me,
Yeah.
and that feels cool. So like to me, it's like to get a watch, it would need to signify something like what you said yours did, and be something that I'm doing to reward myself or something like that, but with not the intention of like, oh, I'm doing this to get rich later. I want to sell it. You know what I mean?
What would be in your mind an accomplishment that would justify that type of a purchase?
Fuck. I mean, first off, there would have to be something that happens to where that purchase becomes like maybe not normal, but feasible.
Yes and no. I think
It's value, right?
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
is actually a great conversation.
Yeah.
Value, right?
Yeah.
You have a $10,000 paint job
Right.
on your bike.
Right.
Some people don't value that,
Correct.
right? So therefore, I sell a service that some people do not value it at all.
Right.
I value it. I can't really afford it, as a guy that like if I had to pay for my services, I can't afford it, right? But what do I value? Like I value, tools that I use, whether it's cameras or tools downstairs.
Yep.
I value experiences. I value. I'm not very fashionable value. Like I don't have value in fashion. Like I don't care. Like this is a T-shirt of the month club thing. So I don't value like
Right.
that.
Yeah, but what you do, Jace, that other people don't, is you value art. You've talked about you'll buy a first edition of a book, a photo book, if that's what it is, or it's a piece of photography that you will buy because you appreciate for what it is. Most people don't value that. So that is what it is to you, what his watch was to him.
Well, to me, it's like, to me, I had a pair of Prada sunglasses for a couple years. I loved them. I thought so. I was like, it was a good point because at that point in my life, I was looking at things like Prada and Coach, which Coach is like obviously like the Chili's of fucking
Of designer
fashion, right? It's like if they have a fucking outlet store, they're not really high end fashion, right? But I was like, do I want to be this kind of person? Is this the kind of person I want to be? Like, not saying bad, like there's nothing wrong with it if your fucking niche or goal or whatever is like a certain brand of clothing that you fuck with, like this Balenciaga or how the fuck you say it?
Balenciaga.
I have no idea what the fuck that is. I didn't even know it existed until fucking AI came out.
Well, and
You know what I mean?
honestly, or the child trafficking thing, like they
What a
had,
segue.
That's a segue, right?
no they had a marketing ad that basically
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember that the little teddy bears that had like S&M
Yeah.
shit on it.
that basically was promoting child trafficking. And
I thought it was like had to do with like, oh fuck, it was like, I remember. Yes, I do remember that. It was like BDSM with like
was
little
only, like,
children.
a
It
year
was
or
like,
two ago.
Yeah, it was like leathered out on children.
Zipper
Shit, it
mask,
was-
teddy
it was
bears and
fucking
shit.
weird,
I
dude.
bought these shells on Wayfair, dude. You know how weird I felt buying that?
You're canceled.
You're just mad
You're
that
done.
a kid didn't show up with it. You thought you were gonna have
you're
you thought
done.
you were gonna have a kid that could
Man, I
sand.
wanted a little Mexican boy.
You needed someone that was gonna be able to sand tanks for me and fenders.
Holy shit.
Didn't work out for you.
You know, go outside.
Yeah, you clean shop.
You saying this way. Wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
But you know what's interesting about the Rolex market, especially, though it's certainly come down recently, but you can get actually a pretty decent watch on the secondary market for a relatively good price. For what you paid for your camera, you definitely get a good one.
What I would think that for me to get a watch, a Rolex, it wouldn't matter to me at what version or collection or whatever. It's just the fact that it is that.
Right.
And for whatever reason I got it, whether it was like I bought it or it was a gift or something like that, I would cherish it in the same way. It's like it means something to me to have something that signifies something like that, right? So, but yeah, I don't. You know, if I had $5,000 to spend right now, I'm always looking at like, well, there's a
There's
couple.
this FXR.
There's an FXR on
Yeah.
Craigslist. There's actually 3 I can get for
I
that.
wish I could be like that, but I'm just too harsh on stuff. Like this is probably my 5th ban on this Apple Watch got broken.
Yeah.
And
I'm not a jewelry guy.
yeah,
So
me either. But like
this is
work,
natural
like
now.
going to work and I just
Well, and
If you had a Rolex and you were like putting out fires,
yeah, I'll
does that
probably
work?
No, yeah.
definitely would. But I'm hard on stuff. Though.
Have you
Like,
have you seen they made the one that like can go down to the Mariana Trench?
No.
I mean, it's obviously not going to be like stand up to fire necessarily, but at the same time, like the James Cameron literally took it down to the Mariana Trench on a submarine outside of it, and it still like kept working fine.
Damn.
Are you talking about the
I'm always
new
skeptical.
Rolex?
Just
Yeah, it was a Rolex.
Is that
That's a
Sea
lot of
Dweller?
pressure.
I don't know which one it
like
was.
Sea Dweller 70
or
millimeter.
maybe,
Like there's a huge. It's like super.
There's a
yeah.
deep sea and a sea dweller.
He leans into this
Yeah.
for sure, right?
like you know how like G Shocks are like unbreakable, broken like a G Shock.
Dude, I'm still on
what the
Fossil
fuck,
watches,
man?
bro.
Hey, Fossil's fucking good. They're here in Dallas.
They're still around?
Yes.
Fuck.
Get a Breitling. Breitlings are good.
I don't want to get anything. I literally.
Is it like Rolex or bust?
Yeah, I mean, it has to mean something to have it, like, because otherwise
Agreed.
I don't care to like.
Yeah.
I have like 2 Apple Watches I still make payments on. They're paid off, but I pay for a service I never use.
Right.
And it's like I just don't. I don't wear a lot of jewelry.
Yeah.
You know, I never have.
As you
watch-
wear a chain. As you're
the
wearing a
watch is
chain.
the-
This was an acquired. This is a thing that I've worked my ass off to get comfortable wearing a chain. We've talked about this on the pod. This is not new.
I'm trying to get into that, and I've been looking for the Harley one, the little.
The one
Harley
that
brand.
like Big Will Cody
Yeah,
wears.
I don't want to be like Big Will Cody. Fuck that guy. Not just kidding. No, similar to it. It's like a smaller one, but I think it's only at.
I don't know. I feel
Maverick.
like if you
I
wear a
haven't been to
chain, you wear a
Maverick in,
chain.
like,
But
a
if you
year
wear
or
a chain with
so.
a fucking medallion on the end of it,
Yeah.
you're kind of gay, dude.
And I'm
I have
too.
a fucking Harley Davidson tattoo.
Well,
So do you behind your fucking
Where's
ear.
your fucking Harley Davidson tattoo?
Yeah, at your fucking camp out.
Show your ass, brother. Hold on.
Bro,
I feel like
why? Why are you?
Why are you
full-blown
doing that
porno
move?
style up at your head?
I feel like we're too white to have fucking gold chains.
I don't know.
I
Not
couldn't wear a
gold,
gold chain.
Silver.
Silver?
I have to be a silver guy.
I tried on a gold chain, and my son was with me, and I was like, "What's this?" He goes, "My son didn't like the whole chain idea at all," and I financed this motherfucker because I had a K Jewelers credit card, and honestly, that motherfucker fucked my credit up for about 2 months too.
Your
You
son?
pay it late?
No, the K this necklace. When I went to go buy the Lowrider ST last year, I paid this chain off, and it was one of those deals. You pay off the credit card, you're like, cool, I'm done with that.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you get a bill for them, an email like, oh, you owe this much money. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
'cause
them
you
shit, I
paid
paid it
too
off.
fast, right?
And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I owe them $5 for some kind of
Get
like,
fucked.
But it's 30 days overdue, so it's
Get
showing
fucked.
you.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it became 60
90
days overdue.
Ooh.
So my credit score went from 730 ish to like 630. 2 months. 2 months it took my credit score. It took me
You fucking cheap ass. when
another
you-
12 months to get my shit back to fucking 700, dude. And I'm still like bouncing around 700 because like there, you know, all these fucking like things that come out of your credit or come out of your account, they want to, hey, paperless or whatever the fuck. It's like, bitch, I'm just now getting used to having a little bit of money in my account. I'm not for sure I'm going to have money on the 5th every month, right? So I don't want to do this whole and that's the best way to do it, to keep your credit great, because it's like it's paid
never
on time, it's never late.
Always have something like kind of paying, like just like my Nebraska card. I always have kind of something on there because it's so minimal. It's like I got something to show because
That's why
my
I have an
truck's almost
Apple
paid
Card.
off. The bike's almost paid off, and so I just
Credit
have
in
something.
general just sucks because you have to have like your regular payment schedule, like credit, and then you need your revolving credit. But you need to have something on there, and you need to like not use it, but it needs to be there and available. And your payment history, you need a long payment history, but not too much because you need to keep your debt to income ratio good. Like
But no new credit accounts, so that's going to hit your crown.
Don't apply for anything either.
No,
'cause
you
that's
have to. If you don't apply for anything,
Well, what I'm saying
At
is like
some
you can't
point,
apply for
you get
anything
hit
new,
for
so
that.
you've got to have all this credit that's open. It's like, man, what happened to like I have a good income and I don't owe anything, so I have a good.
I wish I could
can
have grew up
pay
in the
shit.
70s where like you just walk in the bank, you're like, yo, I want that house.
Almost spilled that.
Or what the days when you could just like write a check for everything, whether it was
Yeah.
good
Write a check and
or
it's
not.
like
fucking do
three
that.
months later, it's like, oh, this didn't work.
Right?
Bro.
So how was y'all's coming back from Sturgis?
Fuck. Come on.
Can y'all throw me a black one?
I don't think there's anything in there. Yeah, let me have one.
So we're trying to get a feel.
Wow.
You're not going to do good in Keegling.
Yeah, you're not a shuffleboard player.
I said you're not going to do good in Keegling, but it's not that, right? It's like curling.
Right.
Shuffleboard skills are failing there.
The
said
ultimate team for curling.
Curling is what I was
Hey,
thinking of.
what's
Keegling? Is
that like the
fucking?
That's what Trey was doing earlier when he was trying to put his
Yeah.
fucking foot at his head.
Hey, don't be jealous.
Dude, if
I was slightly turned on. I'm not gonna lie.
You're welcome for my sexiness.
So that's a good point, Trey. Coming home from Sturgis, definitely had a breakdown in Denver. It definitely was one of those scenarios where, thankfully, it happened in Denver.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
I'll let
Trey's
you
definitely
explain.
getting torqued up. His beer
No.
pouring skills have gotten way better.
So basically, we were just got done through downtown Denver. We're on the south side, and I started losing power.
barely. We were just like south of the stadium.
Yeah. I mean, but
I'm looking around and I look over and I see Jake and he's like, I'm losing power. And I'm like, what? He's like, I'm losing power. And his fucking headlights are like a rave show. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was listening to EDM at that moment, so I was like, fucking,
Yeah, dude. And I was looking over and he's like exiting. I'm like, fuck, I guess we're exiting.
So anyway, the minute we pull off onto a side street, the bike just dies, and so I'm thinking it's battery. We obviously threw out a SOS to plenty of homies in the area, and then they got us set up with some people in the area that
Yes.
did help us out.
Scooter trash.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Avalanche Harley, you piece of shit. You don't
Dude.
want to fucking help us out.
They were assholes. They were for sure assholes.
Denver, Colorado, get your fucking bike scene right, especially on a Monday.
Everything was open or closed on. Avalanche was the
Monday.
only one that was open, and they were dicks. Everything else was closed.
Yeah.
But Scooter Trash came out and did bring us a battery, but once we swapped that out, realized it wasn't holding charge. So we knew at that point we weren't going to get that fixed. So once a huge shout out to DeJong.
DeJohn and Austin Williams from Tennessee for getting us the connect to Scooter Trash.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other people that were trying to reach out and trying to get us back on the road, but how everything was working out, I just don't think it was a viable thing to get us back within the next day or two. So
Yeah, so like there were so many different options that we could have ran, but DeJong works for Enterprise, hooked us up with get myself a pickup that I had to run and get some ramps to load up the bike in the back of the truck and got it home. The shitty part of all of this was we literally, there's a stop before that. We were like looking at the weather map and we're like, oh, there's weather coming in. All we had to do is get past.
Dude, we were golden.
Yeah, we're like, oh,
Golden.
we'll just get past Pueblo by 5 o'clock and we're
Yeah.
good. And
We
like,
would've
and,
been
and
home
then
by
like,
midnight.
no matter what,
Yeah,
we're
all
fine
of us
because
would've been
at
home
this
by
point we're actually thinking about, hey, there's a possibility that we can just go ahead and make the final push and just go the rest of the way home.
Yeah. We would have been home by midnight.
Yeah.
Texas time.
So all this happens, and I can't remember. It was at least 4 or 5 hours that this set us back. And the minute we got the bike loaded up in the back of the truck is right when that rain started.
Oh, dude, it sucked. But even more than that, dude. So we're stuck in Denver, and I just don't know what it was about the people that day, but everyone fucking sucked.
Oh, that FedEx
I mean,
driver was such a
The
cocksucker.
fucking FedEx driver. We're trying to load up the bike, and he pulls up, and he's like, "I can't make this turn." I'm like,
All
hey,
you
man.
guy has to do is go around.
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, man, listen. I was like, we're trying to load up the bike, and we've been here all day, man. Like, he just give us a break. He's like, well, I think this is a bad place to load a bike. And I said,
It's our only option, motherfucker.
I just lose my shit, Jace. I'm just fucking losing my shit. I just start just getting super aggressive. I said, hey, man. I was like, we've been here all fucking day. I was like, who's your fucking supervisor? I went full Karen. I was like, who's your supervisor name?
Kim.
So I don't have a supervisor's name. And then I fucking opened up his door. Like, I didn't realize it was unlocked. Now I just fucking automatically opened up. But I was like, hey, man. Hey, fuck you, dude. And I just slammed his door and I said, fuck this guy. And I went back and loaded up the bike and just made him sat there. And I was like, oh my fucking God. Well, before that, remember that guy in the Subaru came across where we're pushing
First
the
off,
bike
the guy in
across?
the Subaru.
And he almost hit us because he was going
I
through
missed that.
Oh, bro.
I missed that.
He about hit me and your bike, about to ruin the whole fucking trip.
Shit, I didn't miss that. I missed that entirely.
Oh, dude, I was heated. And like, just after that, we loaded up the bike, people were just shitty to us going to Colorado Springs. Hit rain, started super pouring on us, and it dropped about 50 degrees to like 50, straight 50 degrees.
And here's the thing: what the original plan would have been was we would have, we were ridden through a lot of the night, but we would have made it back through very manageable temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I'm in a truck at this point, so it doesn't matter. But they get hit by rain; they gotta stop. So
wet, cold rain.
Yeah.
We had to stop. I mean, I think I could have made it through, but Matt and Blaze, I kind of thought about them. I was like, guys, let's just shut it down for that. I don't want anything to happen
It was
to
a
us
bad
with
rain.
bikes.
I went through it in the truck, and it was not a great rain.
Yeah.
So, but so you guys obviously had to stop off and get a hotel, and then the next day, for that far, just back in that heat again,
Dude. Mm-hmm. As soon as New Mexico and Colorado were great, no problems. But as soon as we hit the Texas border, it was 107 degrees, and it just fucking tanked us out. I mean, we're buying bags of ice, cool us down, but my gas mileage went shit. I think I was getting about 120 a tank.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pure shit, and I think we stopped like 4 or 5 times in Texas, man, before we even got to DFW area.
That fucking ride of 287 of that part of Texas just fucking sucks.
Well, no,
Amarillo down.
It doesn't,
Yeah.
it doesn't suck.
We had a blast when we hit Channing, Texas, and we had those big sweepers because the road's really new. We had a great time, but as soon as we hit Amarillo and it was like 107, that's where it fucking sucked.
right?
Yeah, like for me, that road is a part of a lot of the beginning of journeys. So it's
It
it's
doesn't
kind of
suck for me,
associated
but
for me to
just
be like
the temperature
a
is
fun,
what
like-
fucking killed us.
Well, it's one of those stretches that just seems like it takes forever. Like, that's the thing is like you just
and it's always hot and miserable. Like it's just
and
never.
windy. Like, so if you don't know, Amarillo is considered the windiest city of
That's how Lubbock, Texas
America.
is, yep.
So that surrounding area, so you are on a motorcycle, like it is a extremely windy experience, and it's when you're dealing with then heat at the top of it, like, and it's a long experience.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
Well,
it made it for a long 2 days back.
Well, here's the thing about like your bike and whatnot. Like you have a 132, correct?
Yeah.
Like 132 built motor. You went to California and back with me.
Yep.
in fucking insane heat, and then sorry, those dry burps suck, dude. Right?
Yeah.
You did all that, then you rode to fucking Sturgis, and then you came back and you had an issue on the bike, and the issue was nothing to do with the motor; it was just a charging issue.
Yeah.
And charging issues are kind of like one of those things that like.
Yeah, the magnet fell off the stator, basically, is what happened, and it's like a quick fix, but you'd never know what's going on in that moment.
Tell me about those.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
It was shitty, but I think those shitty moments is what brings us closer, right?
For sure. Yeah.
I would
that,
think
that builds the
that's-
experience.
That's kind of the same.
It creates
thing
an
going
appreciation.
in the military
and the camaraderie.
It's something that me, Matt, and Blaze could look at and just fucking laugh and have more. Of a brotherhood
And
with
to that point,
and Jake too.
so we've talked about this on the California trip. My 132 on 6-gallon fuel tank, I'm getting 200 miles to that tank, and that's on a 550 cam. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I'm getting 200 miles consistently, sometimes 220, depending on how I ride, on a 550 cam and a 132.
Damn. That's crazy. I mean, fuck, dude. I definitely don't want to be on the bike more than 100 miles.
Yeah.
No matter how comfortable the bike is. I don't
Right.
know. I like it. Like, I like being able to. What I loved about like we were riding together on the way to California and shit. It's like when you get those like, oh, let's stop right here and take a picture moments. It's like 60 miles into the 120-mile trip. You're like, it's like a minute to relax your legs and just
For
get off
sure.
the bike.
Let the blood flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that shit, man. But it's one of those things that I think that is important to like showcase is that you have this all-out built motor, but you can still travel on it across country.
Mm-hmm.
Problems can happen, but that's why having your shit together in a way of like, you know, whether it's like being able to like buy rent a U-Haul or
Yep.
you know whatever, or if you have enough people to reach out, like that's another big thing. It's like having the access because you've built a network of people to be able to throw a feeler out there and get some problems solved is almost as important as like what your bank account looks like.
If
100%.
You know?
if there was dealerships open that day, I think would have been
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, because
Dealerships should have like a priority, like
emergency line of some
emergency
kind.
lines of something for people that are traveling the country.
Right.
And here's the deal: they fucking don't. So if I'm going to lay it out right now, and I want my fucking credit, I need to get paid. I got to
Yeah.
get paid from here on out. Emergency line, like, hey, look, like we have this program for people that are having problems where we streamline them to
It's like
the
a
front of the list.
AAA of Harley.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
it-
Why
yeah.
does Harley not have that? Why does
I
Not
know.
saying that we're special or anything, but dude,
we fucking are?
When-
We're on a
when-
bike across the country.
yeah, when
Yeah.
you're like, no, you got to bring the fucking bike to us, dude. Fuck you, and you don't want to fucking come and help us, like. Come
if
pick
you
us
could
up,
pay-
or-
if you could
they're
pay-
like, and you're telling us,
$30 a month to
Yeah,
this AAA Harley system, right?
Yeah, so this Avalanche Harley, like literally when I called them up, I was like, "Hey, I think at this point we just thought it was a battery issue," and I was like, "Hey, I even said I have an extended warranty. This battery's pretty new. You know, can I just have someone bring me a battery and figure this out?" Oh, we can't do that.
yeah, you don't want to come to us.
We can't do that.
All they said is you have to have the bike here. Dude,
See,
fuck
but-
you. How we're gonna do that? We're all on bikes.
Yeah, see
Yeah.
that to me is where it sucks because different dealerships are different. I know like at Trips in Amarillo, I know that they will open. They'll
Yeah.
open. They've gone and picked up bikes that are broke down, especially if it's a traveler and their service department, they prioritize if you're on the road. If you're on the road, they will move somebody else's shit out of the way because they know you got to get going. Now,
Right.
not all dealerships are the same that way, and that sucks.
I get-
that
I
sounds
get
like
your
that's
quotes,
somebody that
you know.
answered the phone.
Yeah.
That's somebody that answered the phone that doesn't fucking know any better, and they just gave him the random. No, man, you got to bring the bike in. Like
Well,
we
that's the
can't
thing, it's
diagnose
like-
over the phone,
Probably.
and that sucks.
If it's a thing like, okay, well, if this service or system is in place, like, oh, like, where are you from? I'm from Boulder. But you're calling us in Colorado vicinity. Like,
Yeah.
you're not traveling,
Right.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so now we know
mean,
you're not a part of this program.
And my cell phone's my area because of Iowa number. I mean, from where I originally got. It's like you should be like, oh, like this. Even that alone should tell you that hey, let's like ask different questions.
I do like your idea, Jace. You know what they really should do is, you know, they do that in the trucking industry. We have our company, our drivers call roadside. Roadside reaches out to whatever tow guy is in the area and gets it, and we process it, and that's what Harley should be doing. Harley should have a system where you're calling and they
that
come
would
up
actually
to
be more valuable to have that than law tigers.
Dude, I would fucking pay into that.
So
right? You pay a monthly fee.
Most of these dealers,
I would pay $30
you don't,
for
you
that,
don't
for real.
even need that. Like most of these dealers already have a truck and trailer, you know, like from a pickup and delivery service. But they're not willing to do it for like these simple like things. Like,
well, that's where I feel like it, as the motor co, like they should have that as like
most
good idea.
Events, most events across the country. Think about when they typically end on a Sunday, and on Sundays when most people are leaving a place at some part of the country to go home, right? So that's the one day. Sundays and Mondays, depending on how big
most
the
Sundays
area
and Mondays,
is,
the dealer's closed.
Yeah, so you should have a service that's paid for, like we're talking about, like a AAA, through these motherfuckers.
If you're a hog member or something.
I fucking want my credit.
You're a fucking hog member, dude.
You know, like
should have that service.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Imagine if with your hog membership, or even if you had to pay a little bit more to get that. That's part of the deal where you call the number and Harley can get you in touch with somebody from that dealership, the point of contact at the dealer level. Hey, you know, you've got a member that's having a problem.
Yeah,
can we take care of them? Because that's what Harley says is what sets them apart is the dealer network. Yeah. Well, if the dealer network doesn't help the rider, then what the fuck's the point?
Yeah. That's what I always tell people, like, why are you buying a Ducati? What kind of Ducati you're gonna ride across the country? And you're like, oh fuck, I'm in the middle of Iowa and I can't go to a dealership. Even Indian, that's the biggest problem with Indian, I think. If I ride an Indian across the country and I stop in the middle of fucking Kansas, who's gonna know how to fucking work on that?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Or even rig it up to where I could get home.
I mean, I'm sure there's some snowmobile or jet ski shit you could probably find.
You know what I mean?
Well,
at 2023, random Indian in the middle of fucking nowhere, no one's gonna know how to fucking work on.
Well, and I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
There's just ways that we can like make the thing that solidifies motorcycling for individuals is the experiences, and if you make the experiences more helpful, I mean, as somebody that has like connections all over the country, I would still pay into that service to be able to know that like if I'm having a problem here, that this dealership or has some kind of way of look. I mean, there's a lot involved in it. Like the dealership's closed on Sunday and Monday.
It's like when doctors are on call.
Yes. Yeah. But you're helping people out and you're like solving problems and you're making it less of a headache to enjoy motorcycling, right? Yeah, I wholeheartedly plan to pitch this whole idea to Harley. So
just think about it. If you called a
how'd you get a Rolex? Oh, I had a great idea for Harley.
That'll get you the Rolex.
How'd you retire?
Think about it.
Here's
though,
like, they'll figure it out and they'll fuck me out of it. So.
I was gonna say they'll back up. This is our own idea. But no, think
we gave him a Born Free bike, so he should be happy.
They didn't get that. I was gonna say,
it was all women this year. Oh, that's a sassy Harley you got over there.
Well, maybe that's the thing, Jace. Those builders don't have to worry about that because they've got plenty of people at their beck and call to help. Us guys that actually have to.
But the thing for us is everyone was either in Sturgis or they were straight up just closed.
All right. Well, I mean, okay. My issue when I was in LA was a kickstand issue. That's not something Harley's going to solve, right? No. It's a custom bike. I wouldn't even put that on them to even help me out. Yeah. But it was just a weird situation where I'm here trying to solve a problem within a time frame of like a day. Yeah. But X Games is going on in Ventura, California. I'm in LA. Everybody's out of their shop. They're doing this. Like, it just sucks. It's just one of those situations. You know what I'm saying?
So. You know, I'm not trying to knock on anyone. It's just shitty how we were coming back on Monday and we're seeing hundreds of bikes on the road, right? But you're closed on Monday. Everyone is, besides a couple of shops, and no one's really besides our homies that are willing to help, and a bunch of Pike Peaks guys were like, hey, we're down the street. And we're like, yeah, but we're here and we're on motorcycles too. So it's not like I could tote Jake to there, and then that was another issue is we couldn't find any tow trucks, we couldn't find any rental vehicles besides calling Mike and then getting a truck.
Yeah.
And then just everyone in fucking Denver is just so fucking shitty. I just, if let's just say this, if you broke down in fucking Dallas, it wouldn't have been.
Yeah, you'll be drunk that night.
Yeah, you would have been fucking.
Oh,
fed,
it would have been.
happy,
You would have
and your fucking
tagged.
bike would have been ready to go the next.
Yeah, you would have
fucking day.
tagged
guarantee
T-Bar
you that.
Tuesday Dallas, and somebody would
Yeah.
have sent me a message, and I would have been on the way within 20
Yeah,
minutes.
you don't think Justin Kelly would have been showing up like, "Hey, motherfucker, get your goddamn trailer on this truck right now," and then blah blah blah, this and that, and you're like, "Hey, I'm ready," staying in one of our houses.
Yeah.
It would have been fucking. You would have had a fucking.
Well, it's
that would have been a
ownership.
positive story, but
It's just ownership. It's like I mean, Denver's a big city, man. Like to be fair,
It is,
it's,
but it's just so
Shoot,
shitty.
it ain't
just
bigger than
how-
Dallas, though.
Huh?
It ain't bigger than Dallas.
it's not bigger than Dallas,
It
but
ain't
it's
fucking bigger than Dallas. No.
But maybe
Not
it's
even
not
close.
big enough to have like
Yeah.
like I said, we have a Goldilocks zone of why we have a great scene here.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not quite in that.
They're just not
It
there
was
yet.
just-
I mean,
it was just
I mean,
weird, man. It was just weird to be a stranger to a big city like that.
I think I think that's what the biggest thing about it is. You've traveled so much, you've made so many connections across the country. It felt weird to be in that big of a city and feel like you were on an oasis by yourself, and you didn't
It
have any.
was,
You didn't have
and it
anyone that was
wasn't.
there. Like,
yeah, there
and-
was plenty of people willing to help out. It just wasn't the help we needed, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And
it's
I'm
like-
very appreciative of everyone. And there was even homies from Dallas who were like, "Hey, I'm gonna drive up.
Yeah, we
today,
could- yeah, we could
and
get
we're
you."
gonna drive all the way fucking back."
That's what happened to me when I was in when I had my issues with on the FXR tours. Like I had people so far away willing to jump in their truck and come and help me, right? But it's like, there's people that it was more convenient to that definitely said fuck me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People that I were friends with and things like that. But for the most part, it was like I'm ultimately glad the way it turned out because of the people I met through the hardships, if you will.
Yeah.
And
the connections you built through that situation.
That's
look, traveling on a motorcycle, period.
sucks.
Old,
It's not
new.
fun.
Oh, it
It's
is
fun, but
It's
it
memorable.
does,
Look,
it
it's
does
memorable. It's
come
not
with
always.
its hardships,
It's not
right?
always fun.
Look, when I went to watch Deadpool, was in the border town of Ohio and Indiana, and I show up to this town. Literally, the hotel is on the border. If you go to the other side of the hotel, the other side of the highway, it's in Ohio. It's a fucking border town as fuck. I go watch Deadpool. I get out. My battery on the FXR is done. It's 12:30 at night on a small town. They do have a O'Reilly's and an AutoZone. The O'Reilly's was like 2 miles down the road. It's 12:30 night on Sunday, or actually Friday night, right? So I tried to push start it, didn't work. I pushed it to a gas station, hoping they would have some kind of battery cables or something. Some crackhead dude, literally, I say crackhead dude in a way of like respect, because this dude helped me out.
Yeah.
He saw me struggling with my bike. I got jumper cables. Dude, I haven't had jumper cables in my car in like 10 years. I need another one, yes.
Go ahead.
It's crazy to me. Like, everybody that had jumper cables at that gas station was tweaking. You know what I'm saying? Tweaking like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Another funny story, I'm going to get to this. So I'm trying to jump start the bike with the first tweaker. And I'm trying to find a way to get it going. It's not happening. And then this chick tweaker came up to me. It's like, "Oh, I see you're doing it." Like, I got a jumper box, like a whole fucking like battery jumper box. And she's like, she brings it over. We try, and it didn't work. It ended up like the dude with the original dude ended up helping me get my bike started. Got it started, ran over there. First off, I gave him $100, and he was like, "No, dude, you don't have to do this." Like, "No, dude, I have to, because first off, I would have had to leave my bike here all night and then walk to my hotel and then walk back here to figure out what the fuck's going on. Like, I'm at least going to be able to get my bike back to the hotel.
Right.
Right. So here's $100. I made him take it. He took it. The chick, apparently, the tweaker chick, apparently was staying in my hotel. So I get back to the hotel, go to bed, whatever. I come out the next morning hoping it would start, and it did not. Hoping it would start. There's a note on it. Hey, I believe in fate. I met you at the gas station and tried to help you out with your bike. Maybe I'm crazy. Like some fucking like Disney shit, right?
Right.
And I'm just like, God damn it, dude. Like, this is like,
Jace is, fuck, man, I really shouldn't have fucked that chick.
I mean, honestly, like, no, I mean, it's not, it's just kind of crazy that like, I dipped into the tweaker world for a minute.
Right.
And like,
So he did fuck her.
no, I did not actually. So,
Right.
yeah, dude. My wife's watching this podcast right now. Like, I fucked the tweaker.
You're fucking gross, Devin.
Yeah.
You sick fuck.
Scumbag.
Jay, you do that in one pour, dude?
Yeah, look at that. You see that?
Are you yelling at me?
Turn it. No, you're turning it the wrong way. No, dude.
Suck it. Boom.
So I do want to give you from the chat, Scott Wheelo Skilo. Most cities don't have enough Ubers readily available. It's hard to expect a nationwide Harley Davidson roadside service, but definitely the bigger cities could help.
First off, Scott hasn't traveled enough to have an opinion.
Scott,
I love you.
I love you, Scott. Calm down with your energy.
You've been flying everywhere,
no,
Scott.
no. You know what?
And trailering, Scott.
I do like Scott's energy because here's the thing: the best. That's how you become successful. He says it's not possible. It's not possible. Now you figure out a way to make it possible.
That's the thing.
No, I don't like the fact that he says it's not possible. He's assured in his opinion about something.
So Donald Trump needs to endorse Harley Davidson so we could get a nationwide.
Make Harleys great again. Make the dealer network great again.
Yeah, a network.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it comes down to. How are you going to differentiate your customer service?
Exactly.
I mean, so there's aspects. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to have someone on, like
No, it's
on
a
the
network.
payroll.
It's the
entire
same way
time.
AAA works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a network of people that do things, and then like whether it's a connection to a dealership that can like
Right.
Open the doors to solve a problem, or
Right.
it's subsidiary like third party fucking
Exactly.
people. If you're in a major city, there's a dealership and there's probably a shop.
How easy?
But what it would require, we're not even talking about just the transportation. But what it would require, though, is one of those technicians to be on call every weekend. And you just rotate that out. So, like, I don't know how many dealerships have how many technicians they have, but I'm guessing it's probably at least 10.
Well, I mean, it's different. It's like, okay, if it's 2 a.m., I get it. Like, you're going to wait till the morning.
Correct.
But if it's Monday and it's 9 a.m. and you can't help me, I gotta buy another hotel room for the next day.
This was a Monday at 1 or 2 p.m. It's like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, at least
in a major city.
In a major city.
In a major city.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I love you, Scott. I'm just talking shit.
Yeah. No, it's not over, because here's the thing too, like what we talked about from the way that we went home. So we purposely chose the Colorado route.
You're off a major interstate.
Well, yes. However, here's the thing, like everyone that we knew with a trailer was going the Kansas route, which whatever. But had that breakdown had happened an hour before, or like an hour after,
we wouldn't fuck.
we would have been fucked, because I would have been in the middle of Wyoming, possibly no service.
Yeah.
Definitely like, the hour before could have been potentially okay, considering that someone from Sturgis with a trailer could have came and got me type of thing.
An hour before, you're still probably in Colorado, still like at the border, Cheyenne.
Right.
An hour after would have been really fucked.
Yeah, you'd be like, "Where's Joey Barella right now? Oh, he's in Sturgis getting fucked up, right? Having a good time."
That's basically what it comes down to. So, lucked out that it happened where it did. But yeah, it's
Even on the other route, I mean, if we went in through Nebraska, Kansas,
Oh yeah, you're
I know someone would come across us, but we'd have been really fucked in the middle of nowhere of
Yeah.
a cornfield.
well, yes and no. I mean, in theory, yes. However, I mean, we had Anthony and Robin coming right behind us that we could have flipped a bike out. We had Chuck and Z right behind us.
They left the same day.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
So I mean, we had multiple trailers coming that way that could have been better.
yeah.
Sorry, guys. I wanted to go through
In that
Colorado.
particular situation, but like what you're talking about is definitely something that not everyone has that fortune that you have somebody coming right behind you
It's
with
true.
a truck and trailer
It's-
you could have put it
if
with.
you're
these
a
are
regular
these
Joe
are problems
Schmo-
that most people are
Yeah.
when you're
Right.
actually
If you're a
getting out and
regular-
riding, you're going to deal with.
Right.
If you're a regular guy, you would have fucked
Yeah.
for sure. You would have had to stay the night in Denver, and I think we looked it up. It was $400 a night.
So Scott actually made a good comment. He said you can carry roadside coverage on your bike, make and model. He says with his insurance, it covers a room stay if a dealer is closed. He said it. He didn't say it wasn't possible. Would have to start with large cities to float into smaller ones. When we had a flat in OKC, we were able to get towed. So I mean apparently his insurance is set up that way,
Thanks,
which is
Scott.
cool. But I mean I think that
Yeah.
I definitely think that's one of the features that I think we're just
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that
Yeah, for
that
sure.
that the dealer network and Harley could do
Right.
could really set them apart.
Yeah.
And it's something that they can actually make money on because basically you're running it like you do AAA. It's a service you pay for. It's not free. You pay for it and that offsets.
We
the
were
cost.
just trying to get home and not calling sick to work.
Yeah. I
Well,
gotcha.
and that was the thing too. Is that scenario? Yeah, like could I have easily just pushed that into a parking garage and waited till the next day? I could have, but I didn't want to. Like, I wanted to not have to like miss another day of work. You know, take another vacation day, and then also like run into the fact of then I still had to have 10 hours home. So
Yeah.
I was sitting there like trying to think of the best possible scenario to not waste
We were
time.
not in a good spot at all, man. We were in the middle of a tech center with no one to fucking.
Yeah.
It was just shit. It was a shitty spot.
Well, once they get a T-Bar Tuesday bike night going, then we'll have a scene there.
It'd be a different story.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
all
They
right,
can
so
build a club style page and have a T-Bar Tuesday. And
Who does club style pages anymore?
Oh yeah.
They have fallen off, haven't they?
Yeah, it's all like the next wave is T-Bar, fucking Ohio, T-Bar Tuesday, Ohio, whatever. Anyway, no, it's all good. I love that. I'm just talking shit because I'm drinking a lot of these 805 beers.
Drink 805.
These 805s are pretty tasty.
Drink 805.
Dude, honestly, I think that my man that we're figuring out how much beer I need a month is in for a rude awakening. Because we've
Right.
already fucking killed 4 fucking packs of these motherfuckers. And we had some at the...
And we did a number on whiskey, too.
Yes,
it wasn't
and,
even just beer.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm 10 beers deep, at least.
I don't know what's over there. This is an
No,
empty.
I for sure have these. Look, I'm an alcoholic.
We got 6, 8 over here.
Anyway,
9, 10, 11, 12. Wow.
To keep on our schedule here, perfect scenario for Sturgis next year. What are you guys thinking?
For me personally, probably gonna have an RV trailer next year. Maybe a girlfriend driving up. I ride up there and we're staying in an RV trailer days in. Probably for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm trying to buy a trailer at this moment, especially with considering a possible new bike. So I think my standpoint is either cabin at Day's End,
Yeah.
or a smaller house.
If you catch, I know for sure, if you catch a Days in campground cabin right now, it's way cheaper than it is showing up.
Yeah,
trying to get
and I may
it.
just even do that just to book it now, and then like even I have to cancel it and do something different. Like,
Yeah.
it's possible.
It's
yeah.
worth it. Worth the energy.
What about you, Jose?
I think for sure next year, no matter what, like Sturgis for me is an every year endeavor. And
It's gonna be at Winton's house the whole
I'm
time.
kind of curious of how much
Look.
it is to stay at the Thunderdome kind of thing.
it was Scott's fault. at like he's the one that's like, do you have a room? Just stay in the room with the AC and the king size bed. Like Scott was he was a drug dealer is what he was.
Yeah.
He was selling me that crack.
The gateway.
But here's my thing, and this is my only thing about like the house of comfort, which is the Winton house. The Winton Scott house is the house of comfort. This house has everything you want, but at the same time, at 9 p.m., it's
Dead.
Everybody's
That's
asleep.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, these dudes are riding. Like, look, no matter what you think, these dudes, they wake up every morning, and I got to experience this with them. They get out and they fucking ride. They go do all these things. They ride their asses off all day long.
Mm-hmm.
They come home and they wind down and they fucking go to bed at 9 or maybe 10 o'clock at night. You know what I mean?
Right.
Done. Well, if I'm on one and I want to fucking rage, I'm in a house on a hill in between two major fucking party zones. But like, how do you don't do that, right? So
Right.
the hospitality and the opportunity to do that is I love it, but when I'm there sleeping in the comfort of that, I'm also like, fuck, I wish I was out there partying with you guys.
Right.
And then when I'm there suffering with you guys, I'm thinking like, I got a fucking bed and a goddamn AC and a shower next to me. You know what I mean?
Well,
so it's
for
like,
surely not. I'm not camping next year.
Mm-hmm.
It'll either be a cabin with a full AC where I don't have to haul shit and sleep on an air mattress, or a house.
yeah,
That'll be
the
it.
house can
what about
work.
a
It's
nice
just
trailer?
like
I'm not buying a trailer.
I mean, if I buy a trailer,
Well,
well, look, if you were to do a house again, if we were to do it again, like it's just 16 grand. That's a lot, but that's where you want to be though. If you're gonna do a house,
and a smaller one wouldn't be that much.
but like I said, if you only have, like, say if you did the house, and I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, me and my wife want to show up.
Yep.
Well, now we're a portion of that 16 grand,
Right.
and so is said other people,
Yep.
right? That Sturgis trip that is sub $200 at the Days Inn campground, all of a sudden turns into $3 grand, $4 grand. You know what I
Right.
mean? And we're not even drinking yet. We're just to
Right.
get there, pay
Agreed.
for
drinking, food,
Agreed.
plus gas.
because the
plus
house
all the
also
ride.
like, all right, so this is what you guys did. It's also what happens at Wynn's house. Wynn's house is like, look, it's like if you're staying here, it's like it's $200 a day for food.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but like you run the risk at that point of, and we experienced this last year, where what possible even minute damage could happen, where then it becomes like then on the renter.
Me and Trey, Trey, and fucking Big Chungus have nothing to do with the hot tub problems that you had this year.
I don't know.
Maybe we did.
I don't know.
I don't know. I fixed the hot tub problems with shocking it.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But no, I get that. That's why it's a hard situation, because for me, like I'm going to Sturgis. It's work. It's so much work. There's like a sliver of like enjoyment and fun and all this, but it's like there's so much like I feel like I need to be here, and do this and do that.
Yeah.
That it's like I'm not. If I paid $3,000 to be in a fucking badass house, I would never get to enjoy it.
For sure.
Yeah, feel
I
like
would
need
just
to stay
be
there.
paying for this.
And on the flip side, if you were there to enjoy it, then you're fucking wasting your time in Sturgis.
Exactly, because I need to be out there doing this other
Right.
shit. So having a campground that I don't want to be at in the daytime because it's so fucking hot just forced me to be out there doing what I need to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but another note, this has been fun I haven't done a live in a while.
Yeah, you're over 3 hours.
Yeah,
Are we
so-
really?
Yeah, 3 hours and 3 minutes.
Oh shit.
Where are you guys at with like bikes now? Like Sturgis is the end of a year for me. So
Yeah.
Dude.
every year
Fuck.
Sturgis is like the end of like said year
Yeah.
it led up to.
I don't know about that because we have so many events coming up in September and October.
No. But
The big-
Agreed.
are you talking
But
about
so what I'm
big
talking
events?
about is like on an industry level,
Yeah,
like
okay,
Sturgis
okay.
is kind of like the
Yeah.
lead up, and after Sturgis, it dies off because from there till Daytona is like this rebranding, rebuilding,
Right. But
thing. Like there's events 100%, but
Yeah.
not Sturgis level. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
So to me, this is
I'm
like
in.
this is New Year. I'm postpartum Sturgis right
Yeah,
now.
Right.
It's
I'm in it. I mean,
So we're
it's not going
So what you're
anywhere
saying
for
is
me.
Lone Star is you going soft? Is that what? That's,
no, yeah, Lone Star, Born Free
Yeah.
Texas, all that stuff. It's not that the events aren't great. I'm not like I'm in reinventing states. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at this point. I have new ideas I want to implement
Yeah.
in my life,
I-
and
You've
the
climaxed.
bikes.
Now you're looking for. You're waiting.
I
You're
do.
waiting to build
I-
up for the
I don't know.
second go around.
Post nut clarity.
I still feel good, and for a second, I thought I was like, man, maybe I'll draw back for a little bit, but Sturgis has changed my mind, and I feel fucking great and about bikes, and just still want to do more. I want to do more next year. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think from my aspect is from a what I really do want to retire the UNC bike. I've got so many breakdowns.
But
with
do you
that
keep
thing.
it forever, or what do you do?
Yeah, I won't sell it.
That's cool. Yeah,
That's the thing is
dude.
like
There's a specialty to that feeling.
right.
I mean, I'm glad that you got to
Yeah.
do a bike that you felt like you've done it, but like
Yeah.
part of me, like every dude that walks up and asks me how much to buy it, I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
The rest of them are like, whatever. It feels good to have something that's not for sale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I think that was one that was truly built for my personality type of thing, or at least like what I was interested in. And I highly doubt I'd ever get rid of that one. However, I do want to like look into a bike. There's two paths that I'm looking down, and it's another road glide that is still built up, but more on the reliable side, because the way I did the UNC bike, it was very just Frankenstein, and it had the opportunity for some failures. I do believe that it's at the point now where I could probably ride it and go across the country with it and be fine.
Yeah.
But I am down this path of also like another road glide of some level of customization, but not necessarily. And honestly, their newer road glides, I don't think need as much. So there's that aspect, so there's that. But then also, I've been thinking, okay, do I even consider the newer road glide, or do I do an FXR build? And I'm kind of in that space of, because newer road glide, even with like the relatively minimal stuff that needs to happen, I'm still looking at probably $70,000
Yeah.
of like doing it to the way I want it. But could I do a badass FXR for $40,000? I probably could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fuck, M8 FXR for $40,000 would probably.
You could probably you
Probably, I mean, mostly will be a fucking bitchin' FXR.
So I'm not going to give everything of my vision right now, but I think what I'm leaning towards right now is an M8 FXR, but with the 136. And everyone's basically that I know of has done a 114 M8, maybe a 117, but no one has done the big bore yet.
Clean Moto's doing a turbo.
I don't give a shit about
FXR.
turbos. I love Clean Moto, I love you guys, but I don't give a shit about turbos.
Well, I don't know what size they're doing, but
There's a
they are
lot of
for
M8
turbo.
FXRs right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
the
Yeah,
FXR
right.
Tour alone, I think it's all M8 FXR. I think Chuck is the only one doing a twin cam. I think every one of the other. I could be wrong. What is Mikey? I don't know what he's doing. Mikey's doing the most interesting to me at the FXR Tour, because he's doing what he did to his frame. He narrowed the entire FXR frame. It's fucking gnarly. In the group chat, you see the problems he's having doing that, but it's like you want to see. I'm stoked to see that because he has an idea and now he's working through the kinks, if you will. But there's this weird thing about the M8 FXR that's like there's so many people doing it because the sauce is now it's on the table. Yeah. Honestly, I can't think of a better feeling motorcycle thing to do to give you check all the boxes of wanting to have the drivetrain or the frame of a FXR and enjoy the modern world of M8s and the reliability and the smoothness.
Single cam.
A 114 M8 FXR is like, I mean,
it's a lot of power for what you need. Like,
dude,
so it's not,
doing what you want on 136 twin cam
insane.
Stock FXR is like it doesn't have the high end on the highway.
My ideal FXR M8 is a 475 SNS cam with the lobe, and the power is
it's
more than enough.
It's highly unlikely that I'm going to ride that FXR across the country.
But that's the point. Is like, why would you not want to?
I want to.
Maybe
I want to so.
But I
want
just like you want fuck you money. I want a fuck you FXR.
He wants a tire slaying FXR that's just like.
So Trask did a 143 twin cam 143 SNS motor, and then they did their fucking what's his name?
Big Trouble when he did.
No, not Big Trouble.
Dyno.
Dwayne. He did a Dwayne turbo on it.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, Dwayne. I'm fucking drinking, so I don't remember your name sometimes. But they did a 143 twin cam SNS motor, and then they Dwayne that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was the first year that I brought that bike on. I came to Sturgis on that bike, and that was like in the FXR show. I'm like, bro, like that's retarded. That is
right.
That's Down syndrome right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
that's short bus and helmets.
I'm not saying I won't ride across the country, but I'm not building it to ride across the country.
The thing about riding cross country is like you got to find a challenge.
Yeah.
Because truly, like you rode across country now. I mean, you've done it too. Like it's like you ride a bagger across the country. What a modern bagger is telling you, what it's exposing to you, is your own weaknesses. It's not really exposing the bike's weaknesses.
No, that bike will fucking go forever.
Well, unless
mine,
I don't know,
will go. And
my shit breaks down a lot.
What do you think? Like, all right, so I feel like I'm such a totally opposite person in this conversation because I've gotten so used to the feeling of riding a bagger cross country that I want a challenge, and I want the challenge not to be like, is it gonna blow up? I want the challenge to be something harder,
take it.
Like what I can take, what I can deal with, what I can, how the wind, like what is it? What kind of challenge can I create to make this feel new and exciting again? I'll be honest with you, like we left fucking Havasu.
Yeah.
That feeling, that ride that you, myself, Dwayne, Matt, we left Havasu. We did Parker Dam. We're doing this highway. I forget the one it was. It's like a fucking Joshua Tree highway. Where the
fuck? Big Bear.
Yeah. Dude, that sunrise, that feeling.
That was awesome.
Dude, it was one of the best parts of my entire trip.
Agreed.
And I mean, like at that point, when you're thinking about that feeling right there, are you thinking about your cam, your wheels, your brakes, your suspension, anything else? Like you get to the point where I'm at in my career of riding or whatever, is I find myself in so many of those situations where it's not so much about the bike. I do want, when the camera's turned on the bike to look cool.
For sure.
And feel cool. But it's like none of these other parts, they're doing their job. And now this feeling is like being lived, if you will. And I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now, but it's like.
Your personal limits? Are you talking about human being limits?
When you ask yourself, like, do you want to ride across country? For certain people at certain points in their motorcycle life or career.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I fucking do. I want.
A lot of people probably do. Like a lot of people might want to do a cross country. They
I know
might
it.
want to do a coast to coast or whatever the case may be. But what do you want to do it on? And I think what you do it on matters to a certain person.
I think my
You have a special bike, the UNC bike. You built it. You spent a lot of time on it. So if you're going to do a cross country trick, you're going to do anything challenging as you as an individual.
Right.
Do you not want to have a bike to be kind of like the trophy or the urn for the experiences, the same way you earn for death?
I do. I just wish it wouldn't break down. Like that. I realize that's part of the story. But when it happens, I've done 4 cross country trips on that thing, and 2 of them have broken down. So it's like 50%. I'm running at the current moment. So it's like, fuck.
I know my bike can do it, and I can do it, and I think it's not so much the bike, but it's about yourself. To me, right now, at this point, and I'm a guy where I don't like to stop. I'm just gonna get gas, slam the Red Bull, and keep on going. And I think I'm at the point where I just want to fucking be solo.
Some Hostess donuts.
Yeah, and that's what I want to fucking be. I just
Sounds so good right now.
it just.
You get some Hostess.
It's not that I don't like
Sponsorship.
Yeah.
I don't like riding with the homies. I just think I'm at the point where I'm just like, man, you just gotta let me fucking be and let me go.
Well, there's a point where I think that like it's a healthy thing. Not good or bad ladder. Like if you don't ever want to do this, like I don't blame you. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's like for the few outliers who love the travel feeling so much they want to do their own trip and have their own experience and make their own friends on the journey and be comfortable being alone, be comfortable being uncomfortable, going to put themselves in a situation wherever they're at.
Yeah.
There's something to be said to that. I think it's it's a great experience, man. Like traveling on a bike is you're supposed to feel that. You're supposed to feel fucking stoked, weird, sad, alone. You're supposed to feel all these things about
You're supposed to feel human.
you're supposed to feel fucking all these emotions as a person because you're putting yourself through these crazy like swings of like reality. You know what I mean?
And what's cool too is, and I'm sure you're gonna have experiences like this on a solo trip, but the trip like up when it was Matt and I going up to meet up with the times that I remember along those rides when we're like trying to film each other. So there's aspects like where you're coordinating with each other along that ride that actually creates memories.
Mm-hmm.
The moments that we're just like riding next to each other or whatever the whole way, I don't really remember. But it's like, hey, he may like pull up next to me and be like, hey, there's a really cool sunset. Like and you have these like hand motions because even though we have our cardos, I normally don't connect mine with people because like I just don't want to like chat necessarily. So he may pull up next to me and just his hand signals, like I can be like, oh, hey, he's telling me like, hey, there's a really cool sunset. And then he pulls out his phone and starts videotaping or whatever. And then when I have the moment to reciprocate that, I do, and we do this kind of like the same communication style. So those are the things I actually remember. Granted, I have a video memory of it now, but still it's like, that's the aspect. I'm like, oh, like this lightened up the mood type of thing. Like, rather than just like getting in this moment of, just riding between the yellow lines and kind of like zoning out. Now I'm like coordinating with a guy that I'm riding with. Those are the things I appreciate.
Yeah. I would. So a crazy, like maybe to attest, like riding a custom motorcycle or something that's more visually recognizable. When FX DLS Brooklyn did the video that he put out yesterday, I need another one too.
Badass video, by the way.
Huh? Dude,
Badass.
hey, look.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
It's-
Not just an effect for you.
I love it, but it's like
also
it's
the
also
Dallas
like
scene.
yeah, I'm like,
It's
oh
fucking
man, it's
rad.
like it's very like pro Jace.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm okay
Pro
to like that.
Jace.
No, man, it was actually a really, really good piece, and I like the fact that it touched on like the different aspects that you bring
Look
to the
at look what I
table.
do. Look what I do. See that?
You know, and what you do for the
You
community.
learn. Oh,
Woo, motherfucker.
that's, yeah. Well, look
See
at that
that?
one. That's about the
I
same.
did spill a little bit, so you're
You're
Yay. Yeah,
you're
cheers.
older than me.
So yes, to that point, it's like a
We only get one beer before we're done with a case, I think.
well, hanging out with him and what he's done. Look, FXDLS Brooklyn and Vaughn Gasfalt, I got to hang out with them both. And Vaughn, I have a print that he did that I'll be framing for the studio right now. And
Is
like
it the bridge?
I
100% the
I
bridge.
apologize to those guys because I do remember meeting them now, and my bad. I didn't realize who they were because I don't think I ever seen his face before.
They don't have
No.
their face anywhere.
Yeah. And
So
I
even
was kinda like,
Randy was like, "Hey, dude, leak his face." I'm like, "Dude,
And
I don't
also-
leak things
and
anymore."
then like when I kind of realized it, like yesterday, I was like,
Listen,
"You fucking idiot!"
at the same
Like,
time, okay, I'm not trying to throw shade here, but who the fuck do we think we are in the motorcycle community that we're fucking hiding our faces? Blockhead did this for a while. It is gay as fuck. Like, why? I don't get it.
I wouldn't. On their end, yes, I don't understand why. I think that like they're both handsome men. One dude is French handsome. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he's got,
I think today you could figure out who the fuck you are, no matter what. If you
they've
Google
done a
it-
good job of like really concealing their fucking identity.
Yeah,
But there's
To the point where even when I was hanging out with them and I was shooting photos, they weren't like, "Hey, no,
Dude,
delete that." But like,
before Blockhead actually showed his face, there was an event here in Dallas one time, and I saw
right
him.
on
The
Right
Is that
on
the one that they
Fest.
did at?
yeah, right on Fest. Yeah,
Right
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he
That's
was there.
where I was starting to meet Jace, and then Jace was like, "Get the fuck away from me, nerd." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. But so I met him and I was talking to him. I was like, "Hey, let's do a picture." And he's like, "Oh, let me put my helmet on." It's like, I feel like it's an ego thing sometimes.
yeah.
And
well,
I'm
here's the
not
thing,
throwing
with-
shade at you guys, but I'm
with
just
those
like,
guys,
come on.
I think it's their to the level that FXDLS Brooklyn takes his shit. Alex, I think I want to say, I think his name's. I'm so used.
Exposed.
I've been so conditioned to call him FXDLS Brooklyn. I think his name's Alex. Actually, I think that they have. It's their one thing to separate their lives from motorcycling. And yes, I agree. I think,
but really, does it matter?
it,
Like,
it
we're-
probably doesn't.
You could do both.
But
we're not celebrities
both.
in any of this
yeah,
phase.
but like, man, at the same time, like, look, I think it's fair that what we're saying.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're doing anything in the motorcycle world, you got to be open to criticism.
For sure.
You have to be. If you can't deal with criticism, fucking scram.
Exactly.
Almost in anything of it.
We've had this conversation before. If you're a content creator and you are not open to constructive criticism, you should not be doing what you're doing.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, okay, you made a decision to not show your face, and you're going to deal with criticism because of that. That's a choice. That's a choice that like separates you from other content creators, right? Well, here's the deal. Like, I get that, and I can't speak on that because I'm not them. My opinion on that really doesn't matter as much as like what I think that my opinion on what they did on their trip. Like, these dudes jumped on their bikes. They left New York between Von Gasfalt, Sebastian, taking photos, and FXLS Brooklyn making videos, doing like things on people. Like, they captured this experience of riding their bikes and then on newer Harleys, which they rode from New York to Homecoming. They dropped off their Dynas and they jumped on newer bikes, stock bikes, and they rode them across the country. And they did content for Harley.
Yeah.
Right? And honestly, some of the fucking most rad photos of those two dudes riding together, and I said this on the podcast when I did it with them, it's like, some of the best photos that I think that would be a Harley campaign came from them on their trip to Sturgis.
Sure.
You know, the sunset fucking silhouettes with the LEDs of the headlight coming out, like fucking rad. 100% cool shit.
Sure.
Man, like, dude, there's so many angles, right? So you have somebody who's making content. What he just did on me, he took his face, his whole identity out of it. He did try to connect what his experience is to me in that video, but it was not about him at all. There's no view of him.
Yeah.
There's no, hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is me, and I'm fucking this person. Like, it was this complete like, being a journalist is about being a mirror to the things that you're trying to fucking journalize, right? Oh, journalize is the right word.
And I, to your point, I think that's where I think these guys are different from the Blockheads and whatnot, because Blockhead did like moto vlogs, and it was about him. All of his videos are about him and what they're building. That's a different thing than this guy's videos are not necessarily about him. Especially now, like maybe his early stuff was a little bit more moto vlogish like that, but a lot of his newer content is not like that, and it is more about other people and experiences and whatnot. So I think that not wanting the attention on you, how can you be someone that captures moments if people know who you are, and now you've got people that want to engage with you as a, you know, internet content creator, celebrity, whatever you want to go by. You can't. You like. FXDLS Brooklyn doesn't do that. He doesn't do meet and greets. Blockhead was doing meet and greets, but had to put a fucking helmet on and take a picture. That's corny.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I think that's the difference. Is how can he blend in and get the real experience of Indian Larry's block party if
I can't wait to do a podcast with Cruzy, you know, because the years of like my relationship with Cruzy to where his fame has gotten through YouTube. I mean, super proud of him and all that stuff, but I watched the video that he had of like with Main Drive in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll be honest with you, Cruzy, I'm not talking that shit. Kind of boring videos, man. Like, I'm being real. Like, I get the concept of like putting a video out every week. I get it. Like, I get the concept of trying to feed an algorithm, but
yeah.
And monetize.
If you look at a video
matters.
like something you're building, then I want everything that I create to be special.
Hey, just a comment from the chat. Todd, Trey's homie, quick to let us know it's because of their jobs. That's why they can't show their face.
True.
Bullshit.
Maybe.
I call bullshit on that.
What do you mean? I
Yeah. Like,
our jobs. I mean, what the fuck are you?
I don't know.
Secret Service?
Yeah, I know Secret Service people actually that are still out there, and I mean,
I'll be fucking honest with y'all. According to our rules of the fire department, I'm not supposed to be saying I'm on the fire department openly on social media. So
Sure.
Which fire department of which?
Well,
faction?
and but here's the thing.
The fucking Dallas Fire
But the
Department,
other thing
right?
is, and not that not that they're putting out content that could be considered problematic, but
not.
like in all actuality, in the day and age of cancel culture, you being on here, some of the things that get said on here, if somebody wanted to fucking report you, they could probably cause problems for
Somebody said fag.
right?
yeah.
So like I know Jake that you and me could be in a lot of could put ourselves professionally in trouble
all
based
have
on
that. We all have
me,
that risk.
Me too, right?
Yeah, no,
all
it's the
have
same with
that
Trey.
risk.
So-
The only person that doesn't is Jace because
So you know,
I mean, his boss is a
you know
dick.
what
He'll
helps
get
you
fired.
as a good lawyer, and
Well,
I mean,
it
it doesn't matter who you are. Period. Jace could be canceled.
Oh, dude,
You could be canceled.
I've been canceled.
Devin, you could be one toe. Devin could be canceled.
right?
Right. But
The 2 feet
It's
community
nine-toe
already
Devin.
want to cancel.
Nine-toe
me.
Devin.
yeah, nine toe.
Nine
Devin.
toes down, Devin.
Yeah,
Right.
Nine toe. Devin. But
Well, so what I was talking about with Cruzy is like, I'm not talking shit because I love those dudes and I love the success they've had.
great dudes.
But I still wholeheartedly believe, and I said this on the Garage Talk, nobody in the motorcycle world is worthy of doing meet and greets.
Nobody. Absolutely agree with you.
No. And
Yeah, they're corny to me.
and I think that like if somebody now, of course, I haven't been challenged with this fucking conundrum yet. Harley hasn't gone, hey, Jace, we like what you do. We want you to do a meet and greet. I'm like,
Here's $5,000.
oh, fuck me. But here's the deal.
Why'd you make the dick motion all of a sudden? He's like,
Yeah, because it's
fuck
fuck me,
get
right? But I think that there's a way to do something that feels more natural, and you have to be able to be the dude. You always got to be able to walk away, right? You always got, hey, it's a great opportunity. I appreciate it. This is how I want to perceive myself. It's how I want to connect with people. And
if I truly had a job that was a risk to put myself out there, I don't know why I would do it.
Yeah.
So like I don't buy that excuse whatsoever. As much street cred or like fame that I want, I don't think I would. I mean, if I truly was like a super secret CIA agent or whatever, I wouldn't want that. So like I don't get why you had to choose one or the other at that point.
I can't remember because I've had plenty of episodes of being drunk and sober since I did the podcast with FXLS Brooklyn and Von Gasfalt. Sorry.
That's a loud one.
I want to say we touched on that.
Yeah. Thanks, sir.
Because we got those on deck.
I know, right?
I'm trying to get a monster LED sign right here. No, look, I respect it. Like, I don't understand. I I really don't. I'm with you. Like, I think that, but at the same time, as somebody that I don't understand that,
doesn't mean it's wrong.
it doesn't mean it's wrong. But also, like, I'm interested as to like why. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really personally want to be seen.
Yeah.
I don't.
There's a lot of sport bike people that actually do like the whole like I won't show my face thing too. There's actually probably more sport bike people than there are Harley people, but
a lot of people on Pornhub do that too.
The stunt ride.
I wouldn't know.
The stunt riders do
I know
that.
real well.
Sport bike stunt riders do
Because
that
I don't
too.
like
I know.
those ones. I want to make eye contact. You can't chime in on this and leave me alone on this one.
You're out of control.
It's not out of control. It's just honesty. Dude, my jerk off fucking stories, they have fucking merit to them. As the AC kicks on.
By the way, another message from the chat. Landon, who you guys were talking about earlier, definitely had to say what's up, homies.
Thank you, Landon.
That's it?
Hey, man.
I was say, yeah, come on.
Right?
Well, thanks, bud.
Good time in service.
We tried to
brother.
find that 93 octane you talked about, but we never found it.
So Matt Darton told me that this gas station near us is got 94 octane.
Oh shit.
So I'm gonna give that a shot here soon.
I'm about to be out of it. First off, all right, so 805, they decided to fucking lean into the podcast, and a big shout out to that because
Yeah, it's good.
I don't know
beer.
if it's good for them because all we're gonna do is consume their product at a high rate, and as Trey puts more beers in here, I'm just thinking about how.
But you see 805 at a lot of motorcycle events recently.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you do,
Thank you.
and they are leaning into the industry pretty well.
Thank you. Cheese cups. I like my beer in cups.
If you don't drink out of 5, fuck you.
Should we talk about how, like, well, beer and motorcycles, right? They go hand in hand, right?
Pretty much.
100%.
Yeah.
Y'all remember Montucky? Remember that?
Ooh.
Remember that brand?
Kentucky? What?
Montucky?
Montucky. Oh,
The border
no.
of Kentucky and
Montucky?
Yeah.
We talk about those lames.
Homotucky? Like, what was it?
They had a rainbow can, but I think at the end of the day, we were talking about this before the podcast. It was intriguing how they posted saying that they wanted to collaborate with someone. The entire motorcycle industry basically tagged you in that, and they acknowledged that on a post or a story, saying that, okay, we understand that you guys all want us to collaborate with the Fast Life Garage. And then literally nothing happened. And not only with you, but nothing happened with any other influencer from that standpoint. So, like,
You ruined it.
Literally, the entire
Montucky.
motorcycle community said, "Hey, we wouldn't even know about you guys if
Montucky.
it wasn't for fucking the Fast Life Garage."
You ruined it. Ruined it for everyone.
And the only thing good about
Could add a good thing.
The only thing good about Montucky is it's cheap. I can literally buy a 30-pack for like $25.
So is that the motorcycle version of like when you're 16 and you're just gonna buy Natty Light because it's cheap?
It was. It became
Yeah.
that. That's exactly what it was.
Yep.
Ruined a good thing.
Yep.
It was a good run. There was a special connection to them, and
Should have just given you your own can or something. They could have.
Nah,
They should have done the Fast Life Dylan Mulvaney
No,
can, Montucky can.
look, this brand is not big enough for any of that
Jace
shit.
does have a vagina.
But
Yeah.
it is. It is.
No,
Dude, brother.
brother. This is your brother, me.
Brother.
Don't brother me on my own podcast,
Brother. It
If it's
is.
gonna say brother, it's
It
me
is.
here.
It is.
All right, go ahead.
It is. No. Sometimes
Go
I
ahead,
think,
brother.
I think you sell yourself short because this brand might be small, but it is powerful, right?
Well,
And powerful as an impact of people, right? There's multiple people that have come up to me, no matter if it's Daytona, Sturgis, smaller events. They know who the fuck we are.
yeah.
The bike night, the paint jobs and everything like that, it's an impact to a lot of fucking people in this movement and the fucking T-bars, the performance scene, and everything like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think you sell yourself short, and
The problem is that like I'm the one that has to sell myself.
Sells
yeah, well,
yourself.
you are.
No,
I
and
sells myself.
it is you. You are.
Yeah, but,
Jace
like,
Hudson. You
Look,
are.
I have to deal with the fact that like half of the people that know of me think I'm the most arrogant person
Yeah.
they've ever met in their life. The other half of the people think I'm, they don't even know the fuck I am. Why am I worthy of talking at Cruisy Originals? The other half is like, they just don't fucking like me because my personality doesn't jive with them, and that's fine. That's life.
Sorry.
But the problem is that like
Is that like four
Look,
halves, by the way?
come to Dallas and see what the fuck is up.
look, this world works this way. Like a lot of the things that people consume or they decide they like or whatever the fuck is because they found it through somebody else promoting them, right?
Right.
So when you have brands literally just like, oh, follow this person, like influencers, which I know is a fucking like a clickbait word right now, but it's like what we do is we influence. I
it's
like to
not
think
lying,
of,
yeah.
I think about I like to own the fact that I think that what we try to do with the Fast Life podcast, the Fast Life Garage, what we do with you with T-Bar Tuesday, everything else it's about inspiring people, right?
Right.
But the problem is the fine line between inspiring and influencing people is it's a blurred line. Nobody knows where they cross, right? I have a podcast. I have a Patreon where we do things, and that's how I can make money off of you. But there's no fucking risers on this table. There's no pegs. There's no fucking jacket. There's no flannel from Dixon.
Dude, fuck
there's
that.
I have no value to gain from somebody just consuming this podcast, other than if they want to support it further. You know what I mean? Because I can only paint 20 helmets a year, right? And guess what? I got 20 fucking rad friends. I don't have to paint for anybody else.
Yeah.
So if you want to be one of those, you want to be the 21st, you gotta be cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that's a privilege that I've earned.
You earned it.
I
Yes.
earned it. Fuck you. I earned that motherfucker.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, but you gotta understand that your brand ain't shit. It's something. It is something.
No, I know my
And-
brand's good. I
right,
know that.
It is a very good thing.
I just can't say it because people want me to say it.
Yeah, no,
That's it.
It is a very good thing.
I hate having to say compliments for Jace ever, but this is the truth. Because if he says it, a multitude of people, oh, see, yeah, he's an arrogant prick. He thinks he created motorcycles, but that's when he should be able to say, hey, man, like, I do own some credit
Camera on me right
for some of these things that you guys all enjoy that you take for granted.
Put the camera on me right now.
Oh, it's on you.
All right. I created motorcycles. Everything you love about motorcycles, you heard from the Fast Life
You guys
podcast.
have the 805 logo out.
I am.
Yeah, you're fucking up, dude. Turn the
I
cup,
am life.
not the can. Turn the cup.
You think you discovered T-bars? You fucking were given T-bars from
I
my
gifted
brand.
you. Yeah, you gifted them
You like your seatbelt screw?
on the 7th day. Fucking Jace invented T-bars.
We created thumb screws for seats.
Yeah.
Look, man. Honestly, the crazy thing about like the way this world works right now, YouTube is a very powerful program. I mean, most people are watching this right now on YouTube. There's a lot of people that have built big fucking presences on YouTube, like Blockhead, like many other people. Cruzy, who I'm fucking so proud of, building what he's built. Definitely gonna have a talk about his meet and greet on the next podcast. But at the same time, it's like Two Lane Life, Thrashing. These are my friends. 5 years ago, when these dudes didn't have a fucking YouTube channel or a presence, or they were just 20,000 followers on Instagram, I was there doing podcasts with them.
You know what's crazy though? Like, so when I think about
When you stop right there and you do that, it makes me like it makes me look bad and worse. I don't look.
No.
I'm just saying that because like these are my friends,
No,
and
yeah.
I
I was going to support what you were saying. Basically, is what I'm getting at is to kind of build on what our previous conversation was. I feel like knowing who they are as people and seeing their faces solidifies within the masses how cool they are to be around.
yeah.
So when you have the people that are constantly wearing helmets, hiding their faces in this industry, you're like, who do you think you are? Do you think you're better than us? Like, I get a little bit of that sensation. What the
Fucking rookie,
What
dude.
was that, dude? What was that? Like, do you see this in the camera? Like,
Yes.
look at this.
Yes.
I am.
Nothing but
I
air,
am
dude.
prepared to fight all y'all right now.
Oh shit, that's good.
Eat my motherfucking ass.
No, but see,
Dude,
that's what.
let me know when you get to fucking taste some beer.
Right.
No, all right. To your point.
So
yeah.
that's why I love the 2 Lane Live. I love the Thrashing guys. I love it because it's personable.
Yeah.
And I feel like it takes away the aspect of personable when you're like purposely hiding your face every time.
Yeah. I mean, that's an argument that I could definitely fucking understand and agree with. And honestly, it's like, it's kind of like one of those situations with Sebastian and Alex at Fake Steel Days Brooklyn. It's like
What
they're doing their thing.
Like think about it. Like what other industry? Like so, like Class A celebrities don't do that. Yeah, you could sit there and like say some musicians do that, but they only do it to a certain extent. Like it's. I just don't see it anywhere else, and it's super hard for me to understand.
But, okay, well, maybe here's another way. We're talking about them in excess right now because of that one reason.
Out of annoyance, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Do people
all
watch
publicity is good publicity sometimes, right?
Kardashians out of anything other than annoyance?
We all love a good
And
comeback story.
You say you don't want to bang any one of them?
No, I mean I would definitely finger him.
So,
I'm trying to be fingering back.
So no
So-
comeback stories where Kim Kardashian got cum on her back.
What? Are you just now finding that there's a sex tape of Kim Kardashian?
No, I'm not. I was just
How old
making
are
a
you?
joke.
I've been jerking off that for
He,
like.
he was
longer than you've
copying
been an
a
adult.
comedian's
Yeah,
joke, is what
yeah.
he was doing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Thanks for hurting my feelings.
sorry, I didn't know where we were going with that. I didn't know we couldn't do this. Are you done over there yet?
That was the joke from Chris Pratt on Parks and Recreation, whatever
Yeah.
that show was.
Thank you.
I missed that. Sorry. I'm good at fucking YouTube clips. I'm not good at.
The joke was in Parks and Recreation. They were like, "Who doesn't like a good comeback story?"
And he goes, yeah, like Kim Kardashian. And they're like, Kim
Yeah,
Kardashian.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, she had Comart back, right?
I love it.
Yeah, I'm sure no one got my Demon Days
Sorry that I wasn't.
Demon Days reference yesterday. So
All right, so we gotta wrap up what we're doing right now. So
Yeah.
we talked about like what we liked in bikes, but like, what are you guys looking forward to wrap up 2024? 2024, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
We are in 2024.
We're wrapping that up.
All right, so we're sitting here. It's August. We post Sturgis Partum, if you will.
So pretty much all we have left is we do have an event in Austin for Moto America. We do have the Run to Terlingua. We do have Born Free Texas, and we
Lone
have
Star.
Lone Star and Down South Camp Out.
Yeah.
So those are like the 5 things that if someone's looking for something to do, if you couldn't have done anything in the previous months of this year, you have 5 things locally, and you can even call Four Corners, which is like in a week or two.
Next week.
That's next
Yeah.
weekend.
Next weekend.
Yeah.
Next weekend.
we're not going, Devin. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
So
Hey, man.
if you're local to this
I'll fly
area,
in.
right. So I mean, there's a good amount of things that can still happen for if you haven't had a good year this year, as far as being able to go to a whole lot.
Yeah.
What are you looking most forward to for yourselves?
And the rest of this year,
Yeah. It's a good way to fucking like
man.
alienate some people and some things.
Oh, fuck.
mine's gonna be a little bit different.
I'll start.
Okay,
I'll
you
start.
go first.
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
It's in every bone of my body that I want to be at Run to Terlingua.
Okay.
But if I am there, I'm definitely trailering, and I'm definitely, just there to do the events and then get back to Texas, because the weekend before, that's the weekend before Born Free Texas, which now in Dallas coming Monday throughout, we have so many things going on.
Mind y'all, this
Does the-
Terlingua is 10, 12 hours away from Dallas.
Does
It
the
is-
FXR
it
tour
is-
still run through
It is
Dallas?
very
You know what?
crazy.
I haven't confirmed that. I think it's probably, look, the FXR tour is a big part of Born Free Texas,
Right.
And I'm not a part of it
Right.
at all,
Right.
but I know that they have their own itinerary and what they're doing. The Fast Life Garage puts on a pre-party for Born Free Texas.
Correct.
We've done it since the day one.
Mhm.
We are the pre-party for Born Free Texas
Yep.
at Strokers Dallas, and
Huge turnout generally.
I don't know if
Huge.
the tour is planning to show up for that to
Okay.
use the exposure that would be. I don't know what they're doing.
Yep.
But the event's there. If they want to bring the tour there, we'll make an announcement. Blah blah blah. I don't know.
Fair.
Out of my hands. But the goal is to create excitement for an event that's taking place in Texas that I fucking enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of badass builders with the FXR tour this year. I have a couple podcasts coming out in the next couple of weeks with some of those individuals, and a lot of inmates. I talk that shit, like no ideas, nothing new, no idea, like a Springer front end somewhere, like figure it out. I don't know, whatever. I'm talking shit. What's the question? Like, I'm drunk right now.
What event you were looking forward to the most? You said run to Terralingua, but you said you may trailer it out there.
Asking me what I'm looking forward to is more like what I'm looking forward to getting past.
Yeah.
Like, I love all these events. I love they exist, but man, like, they become like staples of my livelihood. Like the way that some people think about like an event, it's this thing they're gonna tell their wife about, maybe their kids know about, but like for me, it's like it's this thing that is my entire life, and my entire life has to revolve around it, and it's kind of like annoying sometimes.
Sure.
But I wouldn't trade it because I fucking love being a part of this world. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing all the FXR Tour builds. I'm looking forward to seeing the Born Free Texas builders that are coming together this year for the first time. I'm actually going to Florida in 2 weeks to go have a podcast with some homies that are doing some builds. Born Free Texas is like to me, that's the end of the year. Everything else after that is kind of like,
pretty much.
it's fun. It's like, it's personal. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I do want to do Down South Camp Out. I would love to take the FXR, ride to Down South, possibly do more, depending on what I get out of people.
Yeah.
I want to do it by myself because riding through Florida by yourself is gay as AIDS.
That's pretty.
It's
It
boring.
sucks.
That's Trey's favorite place to ride, right there.
Ride? You mean trailer?
I have a trailer, Devin. So fuck you.
That's true.
Anyway, I think
Trailer.
end of the year, it's like there's a lot of great events, but it's like it's just all like, what do you want? Like, Born Free Texas is the best. Like, if you're gonna say I'm gonna go to Lone Star over Born Free, and you're a Texan, fuck you.
That's fair.
You're fucking us. Lone Star does not represent Texas. It does not. Lone Star is a catch-all, be-all for motorcycling. When you go there, it's a great event. There's good times. It's good partying. But when you're watching all those fucking retards rev their engines to fucking detonation, like that's not our community. That's not our scene. That's not the world that we involve ourselves in. No. And when you choose that event over fucking Born Free Texas, you're doing, I'm glad you found what you want, but you're not doing a service to us in the world that we're trying to create to bring real custom motorcycles and custom, this life of custom everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
So, fuck you.
Trey, what are you looking forward to?
Born Free and Renee's Camp Out, if it's happening, and then Down South for sure. Lone Star.
I want Renee's Camp Out to go to March.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ultimately it comes down to the potential of what these events will look like, and the ability to attend them. But for me, I look at what I could potentially do in a future bike, and that's what I'm looking at right now. Is do I do an FXR? Do I do a brand new Road Glide? I've got ideas on what I want to do on either, but I'm sitting there. That's what I get excited about as a potential new bike.
Yeah, it's like the thing you can do to the facilitation of like the next event. Like, what can you do it on, right?
Exactly.
All right. Well, I'm gonna stop at just shy of 4 hours. Right.
3 hours and 52 minutes.
All right.
We're at.
Thanks, guys.
Good time.
It's going to be new studio vibes.
Great vibes. I like it.
I thought I was going to have to take a doo-doo break the entire time.
I don't think the table length is that big of a deal. I think it's great.
All right. Well, I still want a new table.
When you rip ass just like that, I just
farted.
witnessed that.
I just farted.
I don't smell it.
Well, not yet.
Fair.
It's going to creep. Creeper.
All right. Well, thank you, 805, for the new fucking digs.
Yeah, it's great beer.
Hell yeah.
We'll probably have to renegotiate this relationship because we drink a lot of it, and it goes down smooth Fuck, there's a lot of cans. All right. Anyway, thank you guys.